This is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the DAWG, Willie Mason OG. Round 17 is behind us. Origin 2 is behind us. The rest of the season is in front of us with a decider.
Woo-hoo.
And I'll tell you what, mate, before we even get into the show, a little mate Lukey brought it up. We did the show straight after. So this comment comes in from, I think it's James Turner, which was right up the top. Whenever a comment gets the most likes, it just sits up the top of the comments. A 1 a.m. podcast is crazy. And there were times when I was watching it back, getting my comments for today and getting my replies for today. Geez, we look tired.
I watched it too.
Compared
to the energy right now, and I watched this and I watched that, I was like, am I falling asleep?
Your eye started like twitching a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, your left eye when...
Mate, considering I had fucking 1 hour sleep the night before.
Yeah.
And then, like, there wasn't... Yeah, it was a tough carry, but it was a great day. I'm not sure. We're going to do that in game 3?
Well, this is from one of these. I think these are the lads that come over from New Zealand who were up the back of the show for us at the Olympic Hotel in Preston. I kicked off my first Origin with you guys and GI at the Olympic Hotel on Tuesday night. It was my first time going to something like that, and you guys made that Origin experience all that much more special. If you're on the fence about going to a Levels event, go and get amongst it. I, for one, will be travelling to wherever you have your next one. Nice. Appreciated the time you guys give to us fans. Stoked we got to decide up, fire us up before game 3, mates. New South Wales 13 plus.
Yes. It's trending. Let's get that trending. Yeah, thanks for coming out. And that was one of our first events. We just had to kick that off. See, we're going to be doing plenty more this year through the break and hopefully into next year and just keep going with it because I thought it was a great event. Give a bit of an insight to Origin. Having the great Greg Inglis there was something special because
so cool.
If you do know GI, like I do, I know he doesn't do anything like this. Yeah. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the setting. He's an extrovert. No, he's an introvert. Introvert. Totally opposite of what I am. Right. And, we got him through that and he was outstanding. When you get GI talking and get him in a comfortable surroundings and people that he loves, he's got a good relationship with you now. I've known him since we were really young. So got a lot of history there. So when he does a lot of radio, when you watch a few times, he's very, very apprehensive and he doesn't really say what he thinks. But when I'm up there talking to him, he knows he can take the piss out of me, right? He can say whatever he wants and then get away with it.
That's the difference between these things, right?
Yeah.
You're allowed to little bit, you go a little bit harder.
Banter's everywhere.
You got to be a bit diplomatic when you're on radio. I'm the same. You're the same. Whenever we've been on radio or done 360, for example, you've got to pull back a touch.
Pull back a bit. But when you get a person like this in the events that we do that are coming up, and if you see it on our website and everything like that on our socials, when you get it, when I bring in guys like JT and Joey and GI and all these greats of the game, they're going to really let down that facade, right?
Yeah.
And they'll tell you some stories that you never, ever hear unless you're in the building because there's no phones, there's no recording, there's no nothing. So when you do see all these things coming up, and down there we had 120 people in Preston, in Melbourne on a Tuesday.
So good.
Don't get it twisted, right? Don't get it twisted.
Pull back on saying
we have to pull back, yeah. But we go anywhere north of the border. We're in New South Wales or we're in Queensland. And while I have GI there or some of the greats, you got to turn up. Yeah. You really got to turn up because, even I know how to flick the switch between this and even that, right? There's stories that I'd never ever tell on this platform, but there, no phones, no anything like that.
We have kids that listen to us on this as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'm very aware of that. Of course, they're going to hear some fuck this, that, whatever. A few swear words. But if you're getting offended by that, go get some therapy. So when you get these guys in there and myself, and you did such a great job, Hoz.
Thanks, mate.
That's they're the ones you want to go to because these guys.
I really enjoy it, mate.
It is great.
Sitting back and seeing not knowing GI at all, but seeing him downstairs, how relaxed, the banter because. Well, I said this downstairs. We were having a couple of drinks before we went upstairs in a little closed-off area, and Mace just hammers everyone, right? That's just who Mace is. He'll just chirp away, feel the boys come down, a few of his mates from Melbourne just getting hammered. Yeah. GI was the only one hammering you. And gets away with it.
I let him go because I love him and I got such respect for him, and he knows it as well, right? It's never, ever animosity behind anything he says, but he knows he'll say something, he'll get real smart, and he'll try and trump stories. Yeah. He's a mad trumper.
Mad Donald.
When it comes to anything, like especially his accolades, right? You can't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Right? And his resume trumps mine. It's just like, well, you just got to go, yeah, it is what it is.
I've been around you, and I've been around you with a couple other past players, and I feel like only immortals or incoming immortals really have the status to put it over top of you.
Yeah, you get guys like Joey. You see me around Joey. Joey, I'm a fan of Joey. You know, before I'm like, and I still have that. You know, now we can sit around with both family men. He lives around the area that I'm in, and we can sit there and talk about just life and everything like that instead of footy. It's more of a friendship now. And it's the same with GI. We're all getting older now, and we're all like, but we always go back to those stories and we can just talk shit. It's just great.
Yeah, I felt like a fan, even being up on stage with you, like hearing GI speak for the first time.
And we do plenty more of these too. So when you do hear us and we're going to do something, turn up.
Queensland will be there in droves, especially if we can manage to get GI again. I highly recommend, obviously, turning up to that.
Yep.
All right, mate. At the end of the year, I want to just give everyone a bit of a shout out or almost a bit of an apology, Mace. I'm a Sydney Marathon ambassador, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to run for the last couple of weeks, and it's been super stressful, frustrating, because, like I said, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we talked about it at the start, rolling into my preparation. I just keep tweaking my calf, mate. I can't get, I'll have a week off, have a run, have a week off. So I think we're 11 weeks out now from the date on mid-September. So I just wanted to come on here. I know there are people that follow us through Levels Network, let you know that it has been frustrating for me. I'm not just sitting back and doing all these gigs.
It's been hard for you.
As Mace knows, I'm off the drink. I've taken a few things.
Didn't have one drink down in Melbourne.
Didn't have a drink down in Melbourne just because I want to get this right and get ready for the Sydney Marathon. And good friends of ours at Hello Sports. I've got a bit of a challenge for our mate Eddie. So Tom and Eddie ran the marathon a couple of years ago, and I know their times. So I'm going to do a little call out here. So
do they know this?
No, they're about to find out. They're about to find out. All right. So with the tweaking of my injury, my preparation is shortened up. So I'm going to change my target of sub 4 hours, because I feel like I'll still give it a crack. Don't get me wrong. But I want a new target, one that I think I can get, and I can add some of that competitive juices. And by the way, too, Tom and Eddie will be there at the Sydney Marathon around the outside with the mics, cheering people on.
I'll be with them.
Big OG will be there as well. So I found out who had the better time of the two, and the better time of the two was Eddie Simpson. And he finished the marathon 2 years ago in about 4 hours and 30 minutes. Ooh. So that's my new target.
That's all right.
All right, Eddie, I will beat your time. If I don't, from here at Levels Network, we will donate $500 to your charity.
Hey.
And if I beat you guys, Hello Sports, you'll donate $500 to our choosing of our charity. That will be Pass It On Clothing for us, mate. That's who I'm running for. I love doing stuff with Pass It On Clothing.
That's great.
So 1, do you accept the challenge? And 2, I know you will, so let's get it on.
I know you, Eddie.
Let's get it on.
Fuck you, Eddie.
So I've pulled back the time ever so slightly. I know the boys will be there pumping everyone up at the Sydney Marathon. I'm still pumped up to go hard. So Eddie Simpson of Hello Sports fame, let me know if you accept my challenge.
Bring it on, Eddie. Bring it on.
I also want to thank everyone, Mace. The subscriptions, Instagram, TikTok is all flying. Plus 500 on YouTube, plus 900 on Instagram, plus 600 on TikTok.
Damn.
I say this every week because it's really important. All those numbers help us grow. They lead to all the opportunities that we get with our great sponsors, BSC and the Tab. They're really happy with everything that we're doing at the moment. That's off the back of this. They see the numbers. They see the support. They see the comments. So go and do that on Apple and Spotify. One of those sponsors is BSC. We are proud to be associated with BSC. And Mace, you can find these beautiful looking cans at Coles too, mate.
Thank goodness.
Which makes it nice and easy for some of those people that, like we're saying this the last couple of weeks, some of the OGs. I had an older guy come up to me at Preston and he said, mate, I've been watching you guys on YouTube. My young fella showed me how to watch you guys on YouTube, because before that, I was listening to you guys, but he goes, he feels like he's so much more engaged on YouTube than he is just listening on the podcast. He goes, he never knew about subscriptions or anything. So he also probably is not aware that you can get BSC cans nice and easy, no BSC stalls required. You can go into where?
Yeah, go into Coles. Go into Coles. And what about we were down in Melbourne, right? And we're walking to the game. What did we see? Some big tram just fucking bang body science energy drinks all over it. Big all through Sydney, mate. The marketing that they're doing, and obviously the drink is unbelievable. It speaks for itself. So totally different than your normal drink. I'm not sitting here like just trying to plug BSC, but I've tried nearly every energy drink, and there's no sugar or anything in it. And
highly recommend.
Fucking tastes unbelievable. Give yourself a crack. Give it a crack. Give it a crack. Body science energy drink.
And you know who's been giving it a crack? Our BSC Dogs of the Week, mate. And we were very similar. We probably had the same guys, and we discussed who was going to pick who.
Yeah.
And you picked Bradman best. Why?
I just looked at the whole. I mean, these are hard to get, right? Like, you're after Origin, some teams aren't playing their best players, a couple back up, all this kind of stuff. So it's very hard to pick one because you're missing some of the best players in most of the teams. So I thought this was the most highest quality of games.
Totally agree.
Easily up there. I know what it's like playing against Parramatta at McDonald Jones Stadium, and Bradman best.
So good.
Bro, if it wasn't for Latrell Mitchell just playing out of sight in the last month, and him not getting injured before that, I'm pretty sure he would have been on that left flank.
I think so too.
But look at these stats: 15 runs, 357 meters. 357 meters.
He took a couple to the house at the end.
Yeah, he did. But like, you got to be on ball, man. You got to be on ball.
100%.
You know, like, you got to put pressure in defence. They was just sitting there, bang, 2 tries, and that sealed the game. 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, 10 tackle breaks, 2 tries to the house, right? That was just a monumental effort. And so Parramatta were up for this game.
They were. And even if you take away those tries, that's still like maybe 150 metres. So he's still running for about 200.
He's getting over 200. But those tries, but you got to, as I said, like, we got 2 tries to the house. Like, he could have got ran down. Like, he's got that pace, like, right at the end of the games. He was going, they were 80-metre tries.
Lucky it was Regan Campbell-Gillard on the second one, because he was starting to tighten up, wasn't he? Did you see Bradman on the second one?
Blaze Talangi, everyone was cramping up. It was in the last, like, 2 or 3 minutes, and that was a very high quality game.
High quality.
Very high.
High quality, and he was the highest of quality in that game. I thought he was excellent. Mate. Even before those 2 tries, nice soft hands. I had my question marks on Bradman Best. I thought he was. I jumped on board the train early on with him. I thought he was. I looked at everything. I looked at the makeup of him, young kid. Like, he's been this size. I feel like since he's been in Origin. I mean, sorry, in NRL. But then I thought he got a bit banged up. He was a bit inconsistent with the form in Newcastle.
Yep.
Last year, I thought it was more KP out the back of that shape. But I think even more so this year has. For me, anyway, I've
back end of last year and then the start of this year until he got injured.
Well, that Origin game was huge.
Yeah,
that sort of started changing my perception of him. I said, all right, he's clearly handled this level of the game, and I think this year with our KP again, he's been one of their best.
He's one of those guys. It's just early ball to Bradman Best and let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He can do it all. Early ball, he can shake you, or he can hit holes. He's got beautiful hands. He's got everything.
Got everything in the
He's just in an era where, just say at the end of his in 10 years, and you look back on Bradman Best, he might have 5 Origins, maybe 1 test or something like that, because he's played in the era of Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
And gun centers. It only happened last year because Latrell was out of Origin. He got picked in that last one. And it's not talent. I thought he should have got picked in the 4 Nations at the end of the year too.
Yeah.
And he didn't. But because I thought he finished the year that strong.
Yeah, he didn't. So
because him and Hammer.
Yeah, Katoni and Hammer. I think Hammer deserved this. I think
so too. I just thought he deserved to be in that squad.
Yeah, it's probably the deep playoff run of Katoni and the Broncos.
And plus playing like outstanding in that Origin. He wasn't like he was out of the contention. True. Like, I just thought he's been a bit unlucky. And then this year, missing about 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks in that really important part. And then he only got a couple of games before Origin. And, then now Latrell's in.
I think he separated himself from the others. I think Stephen Crichton is clearly the best centre in the game right now.
Yeah.
Latrell is clearly the best
strike
outside back. like because he plays fullback, we don't see him play centre week in, week out. But when he plays Origin, it's now I think evident for everyone that he will be left centre for as long as he wants to be left centre.
Let's talk about Latrell for that Origin, right? I saw some comments about, he did nothing, he was quiet, he did nothing, he only had 9 touches. That's what a strike centre does. If you understand the game, if you give a strike centre the ball 9 times and he does 4 or 5 things out of it, he's done his job. Yeah, I'm not sure what you expected from him.
I got one for you here.
You know, like just don't. If you don't know the game, don't comment on shit.
But also, right, and I said this after the game, I was like, if you don't understand or haven't played against players like that, where the average person wouldn't have. Like, you've got to play NRL to know the presence of big game players like yourself, like Latrell, like Sonny Bill Williams, the effect and the nervous energy. I had a guy, his name is Geo Buff or something like that from YouTube. He wrote this and he talked about, and he was able to relate it to regional footy for me. From the first 5 minutes, it was easy to see the presence of Latrell as he had a huge impact on Queensland's right edge. Exactly as the Triple AG stated many times, it is no different from regional grassroots competitions. If you have ever played in any of those competitions, you quickly learn who is a threat to your position, who they play for, and when you play them. Latrell was that teenager in the regional comp you play against that everybody knows.
Yep.
Everybody knows he will be great, and he still schools you every time you play. Laugh out loud. He just happens to do it to players who are at the top of their level. He is different.
Yeah, he is.
I think that sums it up perfectly. And that's relatable, again,
in any level.
At any level.
And he's doing it at the top level. Like, he's making Val Holmes look average at best. You know what I mean? Like, they were shitting themselves. They were stacking another number to the other side. That's why, like, Crichton and that were getting one-on-ones as well on that other side. So it's the ripple effect from him. Doesn't just go to his side. It's when they get into the other side of the post, they want to have a shift to the right, and then, like, Critter gets the ball, you get an early ball, he doesn't have, like, 3 big middles coming over the other side, like, because they're already on the other side, they're stuck there.
They're worried about sitting on the short side.
They're worried about that. Like, they're worried about getting their main man, Val Holmes, one-on-one with him. And then, like, your guy, Val Holmes' winger, didn't trust anything.
We've got that sorted now. It was Coates.
Yeah, it was Coates,
Tuolangi.
Yeah.
Because Coates copped it on the right, and then we got him being jumped over by LOMAX on the left.
He's getting schooled, and then he's getting schooled by LOMAX.
He got schooled on both sides.
What a great game.
Poor Tuolangi.
Yeah, but and Coates is a really good winger.
Yeah.
He reads play well, and he knows that, like, he was getting cooked by Latrell. Like, Val was getting cooked, so he had to come in. Bang, flick pass. You know how hard that is, man. Please don't.
Yeah, so good. That's really good class. Let's get back to my BSC dog of the week. And we just talked about Latrell, mate, off the back of Bradman Best. But on that same left edge for the New South Wales Blues, I understand why Mitch Moses got player of the match. But my man of the match was Angus Crichton.
I could not agree more.
I've got some stats for you for Angus Crichton, because this is BSC dog of the week. And he backed it up and went again. So 160 minutes, 255 metres, 110 posts.
I love what you've done.
11 tackle breaks, 55 tackles, and 2 dubs. I tell you what.
Oh, dog. Dog.
That's the first time we've ever heard a howl for the dog of the week, and it was... I think we've got to continue doing that.
Yeah, man.
Angus was outstanding. Now, look, yesterday, watching him play, he was clearly trying to get through that game.
Yeah.
But he's a dog because he got, I reckon, 70% of those stats in Game 2 of Origin. He was, for me, probably definitely top 3 in Game 1 of Origin.
Oh, yeah.
And his form, mate, is like, we keep talking about how... he was playing New South Wales Cup at the start of the year.
Unbelievable. Getting interviewed by Connor Watson. In Reggie's. Now both, they did a story on that, but what a story.
Yeah.
Quick side note, Angus Crichton's father, I had a beer with him just before the game.
Oh, awesome.
So I was sitting there, me and Lukey having a couple before we went over.
Yep.
And he just come up, he goes, I'm Angus's dad. And he's thanked all of us on levels for sticking up for his boy.
Oh, how good.
Loved it. Yeah, he goes, I really appreciate all the kind words you said about Angus. I said, he fucking deserves everything. He's a beast.
There's nothing better than when you meet,
it felt nice. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's been great. Look, yesterday he was a little bit trying to get through it, but in saying that, there are a whole heap of dogs that didn't play this week because they were rested.
Yeah,
he played the Tigers, respectfully to the Tigers, just had a couple of wins, but...
They were up for it.
They were up for it to begin with, and they were the Tigers. And realistically, he could have sat out that game and they would have won anyway. So credit to all of them, all the players. Spencer backed up, Angus backed up, Connor backed up, obviously. But Angus played 80.
Yeah.
And when Joey Marty went down,
I hope that's not too bad.
yeah, when Joey Marty went down, I was like, there goes Angus's spell that he probably would have, Robbo would have anticipated getting him off in the back 20 minutes of the game, but he had 4 middles on the bench. So Angus had to stay out there.
Unlucky goose.
Unlucky goose.
Unlucky goose.
Unlucky goose. But he's outstanding, mate. And yeah,
what a great man.
He does. He seems like good. I've only met him a couple of times. Just seems like a champion. So really happy for him. Yeah, I read the reply from above, which just happened to really mesh well what we're talking about with Bradman. This is another good one as well. And this is I know he doesn't want to be a winger, but the skill set of the wingers right now to finish tries are as good as it gets, whether it's jumping around players outside or basically the sideline to get back in and still plant it down, but also in the air. This is from Willow Reborn. If you look back at Zach Lomax's high take try in the corner, he jumps early and pushes his lower leg into the defender's waistline to prevent him gaining height. Genius. So we were down in Melbourne at the MCG. That would have been up there with one of the greatest marks that the MCG has ever seen. And it's really good AFL technique, isn't it?
It is.
They all practice it now, mate.
Don't get there. Like, they don't think for a second that they're not getting AFL players in there.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they do. They got that pad up there, they crossfield kick, and all the little tricks that all the AFL players would know. If you're coming from that angle, to put that knee in their back so it separates. All you need is separation. You know what I mean? If you're both going for the ball like that and his hand's there and you haven't created separation with a knee or something like that, it's 50-50, isn't it?
And it takes a lot of power and airtime to get there too. Like Zach is so powerful.
He makes that look easy, man. That is so hard. Me and you tried to do that and it was fucking nowhere near it.
He does a really good job at jumping. Like, he must be so powerful around his base because he gets in the air. Obviously, he goes early. In order to go early, you've got to trust your airtime.
Yeah.
So I bet you he'd be able to dunk the ball with ease. He gets up, holds it for a little bit. It feels like he sits in the air for a good amount of time. And then obviously because he gets up early, checks, gets his sort of lower leg into the back of the defender.
Just a little bit.
And then just sits up there and then, more often than not comes down with it.
I wonder if there's some sort of rule against that. I don't think so.
There's not.
It's totally legal.
It is, yeah. And it's not like a kicking out. He's not doing it. He's doing everything legally
Those kicks
too.
are on dimes too.
They are.
Yeah.
That Mitch Moses.
To put him in that level, he's coming across that way. He's on his wrong foot.
Yep.
To go like that, and it's perfect timing. And Taulagi is a gun in the air.
Really good.
He's a gun in the air. For him not even to even tap that out or anything like that, that's going to be that's what you're going to have to do these days. If he's up there, you just got to watch where he is, and then whenever the ball is, just punch it out.
I've seen a few wingers do that recently.
It. Just don't even try and attempt it. Punch the ball out, back your set. Because guess what? It's nearly a 50-50 off a dropout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
true.
I think that's, if you're playing the percentages and all the analytics come into it,
you're right.
You've got a percentage of getting the ball back, right?
Yeah. So
if you just punch it out, go, sorry, boys, I'm not, would you rather that? You defend a set, we get a 50-50 on that, try and get it back. Instead of going 50 metres and you have to get it back a whole nother set, that's a different mindset.
You can't tackle in the air now too, like they used to. Remember? Like
all the rules.
Tackle.
It's all for the attacker.
It is. You used to be able to at least go up, sort of not tackle him and flip him to the air, but if you could get up in the one motion, tackle him, bring him back down and then try and hold him up. I think I've seen a really good one of it. Who did it really well? It was the Cowboys Panthers game, I think. Maybe Dane Laurie did it in yesterday's game. His timing was unbelievable. It's going to annoy me now, but I was watching a game yesterday where he just happened to catch him as he come down at the same time and hold him up in all in one motion. I know our Levels fans are watching every game.
And you know what it is? You know how he gets him as well, right? Like, it's a great timing thing because they went that way with Luai and the wingers have probably pushed up, like Taulagi's coming up. Then he steps back. Then Moses, he's already come in. Zach's still holding the paint.
Yep.
Usually in a perfect world, they would both have a 50-50 chance at the ball.
Yeah.
He would never show his back, but he's already he's outside, so he's kicked over. Like, you just leave yourself like in the worst position.
You're right. He would have been up.
He'd been up, and next minute the ball's there.
Yeah.
And you have no chance. He's backing up. He's already in the air, knee in the back of your neck, try.
Yep.
Easy said than done.
Yeah,
you got to execute that shit. And that's Zach Lomax, a special player.
It's a really good point. It's a really good point because initially, like, he would have started up, being able to come into the ball and attack it, but because it was
because they went that way, bang, 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 he's already come up. So, like, that's the way to sort of do. If that was an actual, like, strike weapon and a plan to do that, knowing that DC is going to rush you back, because that whole line was already back ready and set.
Yep.
So when Luai went back, usually that right side is sort of going, what the fuck are you doing, Luai? But they knew, boom, 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 straight to Moses, bang, it was on straight away. He didn't even think about passing. Yep. It was catch, kick.
Great skill from Moses.
Great skill from Moses. Great skill from Luai to even evade that sort of stuff, and then pass. If that's a trick play, it fucking worked.
Yeah. I think it was just ad-lib, which made it even better. It really does. It made it harder to defend.
But just to bring the winger up, you got to bring him up.
Yep.
You can't, otherwise he's going to be sitting in the pocket because Zach Lomax is the biggest threat there. I don't think it was because he would have been looking that way. He's coming up, bang, 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 bang. Oh, shit, too late.
True.
You know what I mean? So I think it might have been a little bit of a ploy because they know everyone comes up on that side.
Yeah.
Zach didn't go anywhere but hold the fucking pine.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and Jerome loves coming off the left to come back to that right, doesn't he? All right, this one is from Daniel Robinson. Thanks for putting this out so quickly for us fans, boys. Question regarding Queensland playing hammer in that second half. As a Queensland fan, you were brought up to believe miracles are possible. But even the most optimistic of fans knew that that game was gone at halftime. I couldn't see any upside. You're right, mate? All right, here's a question regarding Queensland Mace. Daniel Robinson wrote this. Thanks for putting this out so quickly for us fans, boys. Question regarding Queensland playing hammer in the second half. As a Queensland fan, you were brought up to believe miracles are possible. But even the most optimistic of fans knew that game was gone at halftime. I couldn't see any upside to Hammer coming back on. It felt short-sighted given the most important game is coming up in 3 weeks. Was it the right call? Also, do Origin teams owe the duty of care of the player and the clubs that allow them to play Origin? Because I think Redcliffe must have been filthy. He went back on. He obviously didn't play yesterday. Dolphins got dusted. I think there's some really good points in this. I think there's some validity in the sense where if he's like Mace, if he gives you the all clear, like he's good. We've all been injured before. There are a couple of times we've been able to come back on the field.
It was a grade 1.
But if it's grade 1, all good, right?
It was a grade 1, yeah.
Grade 1, awesome. All right, sweet, 6 again. But if just say the scenario of they were getting blown out, mate. That's the point.
That's the point.
Like they were never going to win the game.
It's not the grade 1. It's the 34-0.
Yes.
Do we have a chance? No, you don't.
You don't.
I don't think it would have been Hammer's. I think it was Hammer's call. Are you right to go? You're going to jab that? They would have.
Yep.
Oh, feels good now. Until you get someone running at you again. I think it was Hammer's call.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever going to go. Especially if it's a grade 1. If it's a grade 2 or 3, they're like, we'll you're out for the rest of the game.
So
grade 1, jab it, get me back on. I don't give a fuck if it's 34-0 or 50-0. If you're an Origin player, you're going back out. And it's just the way that Origin is. It's just the way that Origin is. The toughest players play. And if you can play, you're out there. And that's as simple as it is. He's not thinking about the fucking Dolphins. Neither is the Dolphins thinking about him. You know what I mean? Like it's just if they thought it was a grade 1, they probably think, fuck, if he does anything worse, it's a grade 3. I get it from the Dolphins, but at that time, you're just going, you're playing for Queensland, get out there.
What about Billy? He clearly needs him ready for game 3, ready to go.
Yeah.
If it's a grade 1 and it's going to be aggravated.
As I said, I think it's a Hammer call. Get me out there.
Let me throw you this scenario, right? Like it's a grade 1. We all know we've been able to play with grade 1s before, they're sweet, but fuck, they're a pain in the ass, right?
They're awful.
And then 2 games before Origin 3. So if he, for whatever reason, thought, I've needed it up, I've got to be, club first as well, not only Origin. He plays these next couple of games. Now, he didn't play, but what if he re-aggravates it again on Saturday? Like it could have helped maybe sitting out that second half. And then you're going into a decider with a lot of question marks around selection right now for me, for Queensland. And he's not one of them. He's one guy that will be in the team no matter what. But I think there's a world where they tweak the outside backs, I would have, in my opinion, I've been thinking a lot about this over the weekend, getting Selwyn back in the team. Now, Selwyn might come back in at the expense of Xavier Coates. Looks like he's done now, so that could just be a straight swap. So Selwyn could just come in on the wing outside of Val, but if they were all fit, then I could have seen a world where they move Hammer to the right to sort of combat Latrell.
I'll put Val on the wing.
And then Cobbo on left centre.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Val's the best winger in the game. Like, remember the couple of years ago when he dominated Orange? It was all from the wing.
Yeah, you're not worried that he hasn't played there for a while? Same as Latrell, like he doesn't play fullback, right?
Man, he can play, like, he's a wing centre. That's what he is. And I think he's a better winger than he is a centre.
Yeah,
especially at that level. I've never seen him play a bad game on the wing.
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
You know, he's not getting like those one-on-ones. You're sitting on an island with Latrell. That's a dangerous scenario for him to have. Yeah, I'd put him on the wing.
Okay.
Put Selwyn Cobbo left centre, right centre. Who do you put at right centre?
I'd flick Hammer over to right centre.
Yeah, I think Hammer can play anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put Hammer at right centre.
Yeah. Hammer at right centre.
Yeah.
He's shown that he's probably
he's the most dangerous person in that back line.
Definitely.
And he's great defensively.
Yeah.
And has he gone up? He nullified Turbo that one year, didn't he?
He did, but he was on the left, Turbo was on the right.
Yeah.
So
and I think he could he's a shutdown
centre.
Lockdown
centre.
Yeah, he will lock down. And I think he's quick enough to get, Latrell is so fast and powerful, and he gets that separation. I think he could really annoy Latrell.
In saying that,
but don't do it, Queensland. I'd rather Val there.
Critter did a pretty good job. We'll see. I don't know. Well, no one looked good in Queensland for game 2, and everyone looked great for New South Wales in game 2. So it's very hard to gauge that. Similar to one where it's just like, I thought there was some good. I didn't get over the top with anyone in Queensland from game 1 just because of the circumstances. All right, this one is a question for the boys, and it is from Andy. Do you think it'd be better for Origin 3 games to be a neutral venue? Reckon it's an unfair advantage having the biggest game at Suncorp, although acknowledged Blues don't have a stadium with the equivalent atmosphere and intensity.
No, it is what it is. It works out like this. I think anyone who knows Origin knows that this is the holy grail in Origin. Decider, Suncorp. I don't think the players would even want to play anywhere else.
No.
New South Wales wouldn't want to play anywhere else. Queensland definitely don't want to play anywhere else. This is the home of Origin. And it will taste even fucking sweeter when we walk off that field 2-1.
And in saying that, New South Wales had the opportunity last year, but they lost the first 2 games.
Yeah.
The game 3 was at a core, but they just didn't win in Adelaide. Therefore, it cost them a decider at New South Wales. So that would have been their advantage.
Exactly.
And I get the feeling, like you always talk about it, did you win a decider up at Queensland? No. Did you get the opportunities?
No.
Imagine that for Imagine that for a young player to have that on their resume.
Yeah. Mate, it's outstanding because this hasn't been done since 05.
Wow.
I was injured in 05.
Far out.
Yeah, so it hasn't, and that was Andrew Johns' best performance in Origin.
That was it? 05 it was.
Yeah, so like that's how far it goes back, and that's how hard it is to get one. I don't even give a fuck about game 2.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah.
This is a whole different beast that's going to be here in game 3. We'll go through that when we go through the games next week with the teams and that. But like this is game 2's done. That team is not going to show up in game 3.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Right.
And I know that that's going to be really blasted through Origin camp, New South Wales camp anyway.
I was supposed to give you a bit of warning for this one, but we can take our time with it. This one's from Jake Sutcliffe, and it's regarding everything's Origin, right? Because we're just getting over Origin. But he's from the UK. Jake Sutcliffe writes, love listening to you lads all the way from the UK. Thank you for everyone who always listens to us from the UK. So I always try to put questions from you guys. Yeah. If you could pick one Kiwi and one Pommy to play Origin, who would it be all time?
Kiwi. I'll give you a couple.
Actually, let's go modern day. Do you want to go OGs and I'll go modern day player, or do you want to go one each?
All right, I'll go the Kiwis. I would love to see Sonny Bill play.
Yep.
In his prime, but then just say the OG is Rubes.
Ruben Wiki, yeah.
Ruben Wiki. Yeah. And then the Pommies, Adrian Morley.
Yep.
And then
Sammy.
Newey, new guy, Sam. Yep. Both guys I would love to go to battle with.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with Sonny in obviously Bulldogs But like, fuck, in Origin, he would have been a fucking animal. Like the mid 2000s, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Sonny Bill.
Yep.
Mental. And Ruben, and then both those fucking crazy bastards from England.
Yeah.
Adrian Morley, he probably would have got sent off in 10 seconds, but it'd be brutal. But Moz was one of the most dangerous hitters. I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, who is that guy that I just didn't really want to fucking play against that much? It's Adrian Morley.
Yeah.
He's scary because he's not very animated. He doesn't really talk that much shit. He's just about hitting and just getting the job done.
He was all action.
He was just fucking devastating.
He was so nice too, mate.
And he's the best bloke in the world and they're the worst. You know, like...
he's so nice off the field.
And then you got a guy like Sammy Burgess who would have been a great player.
Yeah.
You know, like great Origin play because they just would have... Yeah, they just would have dominated that era because, I mean, that arena because it was just about going as hard as you can and just not – and they're both all fit as hell, right, and all just like would have just loved that arena like because it's all playing for your mates. It's the best of the best and like those guys would have loved to test themselves in that arena. Obviously, Test Arena, some of the tests that we played against those guys, brutal as hell, but it's nothing compares to like a fucking the best Origin game.
Yeah.
Because it's 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Like usually, you know, you get through, you play against England, it's 65, 70 minutes of brutality, same as the Kiwis, but just the Origin just doesn't stop, especially in some of the great Origin games.
Yeah.
And they would have been outstanding. Not just like oh geez, let's pick Adrian Morley. You know, Adrian Morley's going to dominate. Yeah. So's Sam, so's Ruben, so's Sonny.
Picked,
yeah, one of the first picked in their prime. Yeah. One of the first picked.
For sure. I'll go to modern day players. The one that stands out for England is obvious, Victor Radley. I think we both said that Victor Radley probably should have been picked a couple of years ago. Him in Origin would be outstanding. I'd say his Roosters teammate. Imagine having a throwback to the early Roosters years with LATRELL on the left, Joey Manu on the right.
Oh, yeah.
For New South Wales Blues. And the other one up in Queensland. So if I'm going to give New South Wales 2 gun players, then Jerome Hughes in the halves with Munster.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What other Kiwi you got?
Like modern day, this day.
What's the OG you're going to have? Rubes?
No, the OG's the same as you. Yeah, I'll let you go OGs and then I went the modern day, the current players. But yeah, because you remember I threw this scenario out on.
What about Stacey Jones?
Stacey, yeah, Stacey
was 1 and 2 with Joey in that whole era.
But I just think they would have really struggled. Do you think Stacey would have had to play 6? I reckon because Joey would. I'm
just thinking. Just say Joey was a 7 for New South Wales and he was a 7 for Queensland, like Stacey.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like just say if they swapped the whole, you know, like
gotcha.
That would have been
Joey.
Yeah, that would have been mad.
Yeah, that would have been fun to see.
What about what about the old school Pommy Moz?
Yeah, Moz, lock. Between him and Sammy, very hard to split because Sammy probably had...
Sammy had more skill.
Yeah, he had a bit more to him,
passing.
but they were both as equally terrifying as each other.
That's what it is, terrifying.
And they're
not built like that anymore.
They would have been made for the kickoffs.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, that'd be outstanding. Lukey, big shout out from Lukey. Lukey just saying, Origin to Wembley. Can you imagine? Could they sell out Wembley?
Easily.
Yeah?
Easily.
Everyone from the north is coming down.
Yeah.
Everyone.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Amount of expats that are in London, they're going to Origin. Fuck that bit. Hey, Philandis, get onto that shit. Yeah. In the summertime too, boys. Oh, yeah. Levels, straight over there. We'll be Ibiza after. Whatever. Let's go.
Maybe go to Ascot races as well. Get the nice, beautiful top hats on. You're not a big racist guy, are you? But we can get there.
I'll adapt to Ascot races.
Ascot races, Tab. Let's get this going.
Oh, mate, that would be brilliant.
I'm with you.
Absolutely brilliant.
All right, let's get into the games, mate. On Friday night, I called this game for SEN. Bulldogs defeat the Sharks 15-14. Dogs remain undefeated in 2024, Mace, and jump to 5th on the ladder. Don't worry about the top 8. Can the Dogs make the top 4?
It's a good question, right? Yeah. I think top 8 would be, realistic for us.
Yep.
I think that top 4, you got Melbourne, you got Penrith, Roosters, and Sharks. Is it Sharks or Dolphins?
Sharks are slipping.
Well, the Sharks are slipping. I think if they They could, right?
Check this out. So they're undefeated
the Warriors,
at home.
They got the Warriors.
Warriors bye up to North Queensland after Origin.
I might go to that.
After Origin. So, as we know, Todd Payton just rested 6 Origin players, whether he does that again. But they're probably going to have 5 or 6, bit battered and bruised.
He won't rest.
And that is a Sunday. That's a Sunday, so they'll probably play.
Yeah, I'm not going.
6:15.
Mad Cow don't go hard on Sundays.
Yeah, they don't. And then I was going to say,
plus we got the fucking potty on Monday.
Plus, I was going to say, we would have to go with you, so we can do the potty on Monday.
We're not doing it. Don't worry. I thought it was a Saturday night.
Broncos, Raiders.
We have a chance to do that, right? I think our boys are playing at a high level, and the way that we play is it's high energy and it's taxing. What I worry about is the fatigue factor.
Okay.
Right? And just the amount of players that we're using. I'm not worried about, like, just say other teams. I'm just worried about our depth. Okay. Like, we're using a lot. We're using some of our players. Like, you have a look at Royce Hunt's coming off the bench, 125. Kurt Moran's like 95.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? A lot of impact week in, week out, and that's a credit. And I don't think we'll go like that, because I credit Travis Tuma and I credit all the S&Cs and Ruben and everybody out there with sports science, but I really credit the coach.
Well, that's
like
weird.
Cam Serrato was like,
I reckon that's been a strength of you guys, the small ball.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah,
and the depth and versatility.
But I'm just saying, it takes its toll with a couple of guys being banged up. And
you're worried about it having effects in rounds.
Yeah. Because this is we're only just over halfway.
Yeah,
we're only just over halfway, and we've had a great year so far. But the way we play is like, we move the ball a lot. We're doing a lot of kilometres. You know what I mean? Where a lot of other teams just play between the middle thirds, bang, bang. Like, look at Cronulla. They didn't go outside the fucking 20 metres for 30 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, quite boring.
2 completely different
styles. But they're going straight through the front door. You know, so those hits just keep coming. You know, we just need to get through Origin, get this win against the Warriors, get the bye, right? It's perfect timing with the buys and that really we've had as well, you know. So it's really good. And you know, this one the players might get a whole week off. You know, the last couple of them trained a few things, but now this last one week, and then you got to make a fucking proper run for it.
Yeah.
And you go, hopefully, like Fox comes back in about 3 or 4 weeks. You get everybody back. Like Kicks has been outstanding, Birdo, Critter, everybody, because it's a whole new ball game after Origin. You know, and I think we got that team to make it. We'll fucking frighten some teams, man. Don't sleep on it.
Let's start with Critter. So, like I said, I was calling this game from SEN. I looked down. The 2 teams are running out before the game started. He was clearly busted, right? So Joel Kane was with me, and I said to Sugar, I said, look at the energy of Stephen Crichton right now, and we're watching him. And he's high-fiving everyone and
secret handshakes to everyone.
Everyone, even Travis Toomer got a secret handshake, I think, right?
Oh, Trav would hate that. I got to watch that.
I swear. I'm
going to send it to him. I'm going to film it and send it to him. What are you doing,
Mr.
son?
Exclusive was even trying to get a handshake.
Exclusive was trying to get a boop, boop, boop. Stop it, Exclusive. Stop it.
You're bringing down Critter's coolness all the way down here.
Yeah, you try to play with his cool. Come on, man.
Anyway, my point is, he was, he's in there high-fiving everyone. I could even hear him from the box. Char Hoolan getting all the boys going. He then gets away from the group and starts striding out and trying to sprint effort for 30, 40 metres. He was so busted, mate. Yeah, he was so busted. But in front of the group, he didn't show that. He went away and Joel was like, check out that last 10 metres. I said, that was awful. Now, there were a couple
just pulling up.
He pulling up, mate. He couldn't stop.
Can you imagine how sore he would have been?
So what I gave him my diagnosis from the top of the box, generally when you struggle to take off and then pull up, maybe a cork. That's what I think. You know when they got that cork and you can't quite pull up.
Can't pull up
because you feel it like
the quads. It's ITB. It's a VMO.
Something's
calves.
Yeah, that's what I assumed he's got. He's got like a hectic cork, but he had to play through it because he's the captain of the team.
He's the captain of the Bulldogs, man.
And his presence was was needed. And also another guy, Viliami Kikau. Yeah. He's got that big brace on his finger.
I don't think people understand what a finger injury. Have a look at all the ex-players' beautiful hands, right? Yeah. They're not like...
Shout out Brian Fletcher.
Shout out to Fletch. You know, like these things. And he's got like... I saw it. He had an operation.
Get your one up on the... look at that. Look at that beautiful looking...
That beautiful little thing.
That's what, there you go, kicks. That's what you get for playing through your injuries, mate.
But he had, I had the chance to get that operated on, and probably Fletch and everything like that. But it's like it's you would have gone through what he went through. It's awful.
You got to play.
He's got like 7 screws in his finger, and it's that. Right, he's a left arm carry, right palm. So that's the one that gets caught on the jerseys and twists it up. It's all right if it's a ball carrying hand because you've got it crunched again. That's fine. But when that's out there, that's when you fucking. Oh, it sucks. You've got to get it needled. It's like, it ain't good. And this is going to happen to the rep for the rest of the year.
Yep.
So don't, like, when you talk about fingers and everything, oh, it's just a finger. No. It's not just a finger. He's dislocated. He's popped all the ligaments. He's done everything that he could do it. And then his other finger, this one, is like that.
Already.
Yeah. So he can't Bundy him together because this one is facing that way. So he's got his hair modelling career is fucked. He can't do anything, but like, so he can't do that. So that's what you need to do. Bundy means taping them together, right?
Yep.
He can't tape them together because it's in that much pain. So I'm like, mate, and he's been playing outstanding. We need those guys, and they know how important they are to the team, right? Their presence is their present, right? They come up there,
like
that. That's what they do.
Have you used that one before? Their presence is their present.
Yeah, that's what they is.
That's nice.
That's what they do, you know, and everyone just builds their energy off that.
Yeah.
And Critter's playing, he's backing up. He's our dude, right? I've got to put in effort. I have to put in max effort because this guy just played his ass out on Wednesday night and now he's here 2 days later and he's leading us out.
Well, what about this from Critter, right?
Fucking love it, man.
After the game.
Love that kid.
Instead of like, people were complimenting Critter backing up straight after. And all he did was praise the playing group.
Yeah. He
praised Kicks because he goes, Kicks is playing hurt. I have to play hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not at 100%, but I've got to play. And the boys killed it all week and they carried me through the game. I'm just like, fuck.
He's just a guy you want to play for, bro.
I can't like this guy even more.
He's 23 years old.
He's so impressive.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Yeah. He's a very impressive human, and we should pay him more. We got him on unders.
Yeah.
What he brings off the field and on the field, what I've seen this year, is fucking nothing short of outstanding. And he deserves all the credit that he fucking deserves.
All the flowers.
Everything that's coming towards him.
I just thought he was an X-Factor guy.
No. He's that dude. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he did want to leave that place. Didn't want to leave that place, circumstances, but he wasn't afraid of leaving because he knew all these leadership qualities would come into fruition and be that guy, be who he is right now.
Yeah. So
you know, and I think Gus knew that, and first of all, Ciro knew that. I've never seen Ciro have a bigger rap on a person. Yeah. When I was talking to him last year about what's Critter like? Because all you see is little snippets of them all having a great time. Yeah, it looks cool when you won 3 in a row. Everything's cool. Yeah. But it's just what he brings off the field. And I see
33 competitions in a row.
I see it firsthand. Yeah. I see it firsthand. I'm like, yeah, he's a dude I'd love to play with.
Fuck yeah.
Just always like happy, comes up, he gives you a hug and shit like that. You don't have to do that to me, but he just does it, you know what I mean? Like he just pays respect, pays homage to the old school dudes that have done it before him. And to have that as a 23-year-old man, young man, very highly impressive.
Yeah. Well, I thought his winning percentage was going to take a lick when he arrived at the Dogs because he's one of the best winning percentages of all time. He somehow completely flipped the culture and the team, and it's
only going to get better.
It's still trending up.
It is trending up.
There's levels, baby. Birdo versus Hines at the death for the field goal, and the smart money was always on Birdo, mate. Birdo, he doesn't even look like he's trying to kick them,
best
and they go
ball in the
50,
history.
60 metres. Like I was like, he looks like he's kicking it from 20 metres in front with the way he just strikes the ball so well.
The best striker of the ball, I reckon, in the history of the game. That's a big call.
Well,
yeah, he just puts.
Who are some of the others?
Darren Lockyer.
Darren Lockyer was really good. You know who was fucking the Mickey? Andrew Walker.
Andrew Walker was there.
Do you remember Andrew Walker?
Andrew Walker was there, and he was a right. It's mainly left footers have a beautiful strike.
He's the OG Burton bomber. Was Walker left footed? Was he?
No. But like it was weird to have him as a right footer, where like Birdo and Lockyer was the first guy. Just that beautiful like just end over end punt kick style. Yeah. But then you put the torpies up, crazy. Yeah. And Birdo's taking that to a new level because he's longer, bigger levers.
Yeah. When it comes to field goals, DCE strikes him as good as anyone.
He's good, yeah.
Because he's got. They're probably not as sweet.
Nah, not as sweet.
But he's got left and right. Like
he's skillful.
Being able to kick him off both foots has been a real strength of his.
What about Nico? Right, Nico. Just when you compare the last couple of weeks and how Origin can affect you.
Yeah.
Like, look at Moses.
Yep.
And then have a look at what Nico's still going through now.
That's a perfect comparison because both teams have been losing the last couple of weeks. I think Sharks have won 1 out of the last 4. The only game they won, Nico actually didn't play in that against the Broncos. Mitch is doing everything he can, but Parramatta are still not winning games. But the way they're perceived is completely different.
Yeah. Now have a look at that Origin win and the confidence that guy has brought out of that, and he pretty much won the game for him against Newcastle.
He did everything he could.
Everything he could. Like he was in everything, and then you have a look at Nico, right? Like that field goal, he would have,
he does it in the first 5.
Hazelton would have kicked that over
in the first 5 weeks. He does that with his eyes closed.
Yeah,
and last year before Origin, same thing. He could have faked right, kicked it left foot, and gone over because that's the confidence he had.
Yeah,
for sure, he's feeling the effects of it, mate. And also another one I talked about, Steve Crichton. When you're actually at the stadium, it's very hard to see, like if you're at the stadium watching as a fan, watch players in warm-up because if you watch them during the games, they brave it. You're very hard to tell if a player is injured or not. Watch them in warm-ups. That's when you see when guys are carrying stuff because it's halfway through the year.
They warm up on the field now too.
They warm up on the field. You can see them, and I'd say Braden Trindle would have had, I don't know, maybe 60, 70% of the
play good, Braden Trindle.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
kick really well.
He would have had about 60 or 70% of the kicks in play, where I think normally that flows towards Nico. I'd say at the start of the year before the calf injury, and I think clearly the calf's still there.
Is the calf injury really hampering his kicking style?
I think it's not. I think it's like he's obviously fine to play. But subconsciously, I think he's wary of it.
Like I'm not sure if he's right-footed, right? Is it his calf on the left that is fucked?
I don't know which.
Because I want to know because that's the only reason why he can't drive through the ball because that plant foot he mustn't be able to drive off it.
Which one do you reckon would be worse? I reckon it'd be worse on the plant foot than it would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it must be his left calf. Because he's right, it's just coming through.
Let me see if I can get it.
It's like a little pop gun.
Keep talking. Luke, you find out if you can see which one. Yeah, Luke is on the one.
It's like a little pop gun. So I'm just like, it must be his plant foot. So he can't really drive off everything. So you have a look at all the good kickers. That plant foot is very important.
Very important. Yeah, I'd say you'd prefer to be the kicking foot.
Just to be the calf injury because it's in the air. All you're putting strain on is your adductors and your groin. That's about it, not your calf.
How does he get out of it, mate? I had my opinion with Missile on Saturday morning. What's your thoughts on it? Like how does he, if you're Craig Fitzgibbon, I thought Craig Fitzgibbon said it well. He said like he's going through a rough time at the moment, as in like there's a lot of pressure around him associated with it. He's been through a lot. He'll figure it out. But when you're the playmaker, you're expected to make those moments. So he's figuring out still how to be a leader of Cronulla.
Yeah.
Before even it being a playing Origin, he's still like we forget. He had this meteoric rise from playing Queensland Cup to being a bench player for New South for Storm, to starting when players were out, to going to Cronulla and killing it, to getting this new big contract. Like a lot's happened to him in the last 3-4 years, and
because he's a late bloomer,
and it's part of the process. Yeah, he's fairly late bloomer. Yeah,
I think just say,
what would your advice be to him? This next game, what does he concentrate on? What's going to put him in the best position to get a result for Cronulla? That's all he's got to worry about.
I thought his defence was okay on the weekend.
Yep.
It was okay. I know he needs to get that sorted, and I think he's trying his ass off to get that fixed.
He was good against kicks.
Yeah, he was really good. So he's putting his body in front. So that's the main thing that you want to see. But it's like he's attacking. That's what's happening. And I think it's a calf injury.
Yep. What do you got? There's nothing on what leg, Lukey? Okay. Maybe one of the.
You know what I mean? So I look at that. It's obviously confidence. He just needs to get through games and needs to win. Winning solves everything, right? That kick, if he had to kick that goal, we wouldn't be talking about this shit because I thought he played okay. But everyone's talking about pressure moments. That's a pressure moment.
Because he missed 2 conversions
New South Wales Origin's a pressure moment, right? So the kick was there for him to ice the game and he missed it. So everyone's going to be talking about that. Yeah. The week before when he could have kicked it to go to extra time or whatever, he missed it. You know what I mean? Like, so these are pressure moments where you want your big dog to do those because he's the highest paid player there. He's one of the best sevens in the game. He should be able to do that. Right?
Yep.
So all these things are just really fucking with his confidence at the moment.
Chip.
You know what I mean? Just chipping away. And you can say as much as you want in interviews saying, I'm working on this, I'm doing that, I know this, I know the process. Maybe he doesn't know the process. because I don't think he's really been in this. I don't think he's been in this situation, not to this level, right? Where everyone's sort of fucking coming down him. Is he going to be that guy for Origin? Is he done? These sort of questions start hammering.
Yeah.
Start coming at him already, right? It's as I said, it's come quick.
It's fair enough,
from
like
and it is fair enough when you're that guy, when you've won a Dally M, when you play Test football, when you've played Origin, you're that next guy up, and when contracts. When you don't deliver on the big stages, you're gonna get all these fuckwits saying everything.
Yep.
I don't bag this guy's game or anything like that. I know what he has to work on.
We critique him. We're critical. Of course, that's part of what we do.
And it's like defense, right? That's all I'm worried about is defense.
Okay.
And I know that he wasn't fully fit. And maybe he's going to regret that decision of not pulling out of Origin and taking care of his business and getting his body right. Best ability, availability. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
So when you want to be available, you could trick everyone into thinking that you're playing, but you ain't playing in the middle. You know what I mean? With a calf injury, and you can sort of get around the field and do your tackles and do your runs.
Yeah.
We're not expecting you to make line breaks all the time, but like when you say that you're ready to go and you put the state before your club and everything like that, people start looking, right? And that's what he put himself in that position where he thought he was okay. If he had that time again, I think he would have dropped out of Origin 1 and said, I'm not fit enough. Go take care of his body. Cronulla would have given him an exemption to say, have 2 or 3 weeks off, get it right, come back. That's what I think would have happened.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Who else would have played during that period? Remember?
I don't fucking know. Luai could have played 7. They could have. We would have been all right.
Yeah, would have figured it out.
We would have been all right.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. We weren't putting all our fucking eggs. Oh, we need Nico to play. We need Nico to play. It's not like it's fucking Joey or someone coming back. You know what I mean?
But also,
he played 8 minutes of an Origin.
Yeah, but also like you're right. He's not Joey in that sense, but. That was also, it could have been his moment. That would have gone into
But that's what I'm saying. Everything like that, you would have been thinking, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to have that Origin moment. I'm going to do this. Because we put so much pressure on these young kids to play Origin. Because you don't know when you're going to be your first, never going to be your last.
You might not, you never get the opportunity.
Exactly.
Again.
He might not play Origin for another 3 years. 3 or 4 years. And then by the time that he's 30 years old, he probably won't play again because the next young kid's coming through. Right? So you don't know when you do that. And he's probably thought that he was going to be all right, but he wasn't. You know? So only he knows the answers to those questions.
Yep, it's fair enough. My opinion on it, I think he really needs some help from his Cronulla teammates during this period.
Yeah, man.
I think they need to up their involvement. Trindle, good. He's better at the start of the year. He needs to, because they need a win. They're currently sitting, I think they're sitting 3rd still, but they're really slipping on the ladder now. They're on 10 wins, so they started so well. So they've got a bit of freedom there.
What about
Will Kennedy's been good in this last month. Sifa Telakai's been good, and those two were their best again. Those guys, I think there needs to be some leaders. Ronnie Mulatalo was clearly a leader at that club. He was visibly frustrated after the game as well. Those guys need to find a way to go, all right, maybe not even involve Nico in the chat. A couple of senior boys get together and go, hey, Nico's getting fucking hammered right now. We need to find a way. Everyone fucking up their game by just a little bit. You know, when you're thinking about maybe not getting in and getting those legs, get those fucking legs. If you're thinking about, oh, do I want to sit, chill and not get in for a tough carry, get in for that fucking tough carry, get a win. Once that winning starts happening again, Nico can find his groove, he can get healthy, and then they'll be back. Yeah,
and I think just say with the way that Cronulla played, I'm not saying it's one-dimensional, but like...
They are very big ball.
I know. They're very big. They're big boys in their front door mentality.
Yep.
Look at us. We're not a big pack. We're not a ferocious pack. We're not your Penriths or the Roosters and that. And you still couldn't do the job against us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we handled your middles quite easily. And that was a front door mentality because they've done that to us the last couple of times. They've fucking gone bang, bang, bang and absolutely destroyed our middle.
Yeah, last year.
So we took that shit personal.
Yeah.
Right? Because the last couple of years, it's just like, and for middles, it's humiliating. What happened when they did us at Shark Park last week? They scored 5 or 6 tries through the middle.
In the first round?
In the first fucking round last year.
Yep.
First or second round at Shark Park. They absolutely monstered us, and that we've held the receipts for that.
You have kept the receipts on both Newcastle and the Sharks.
Yeah, because like games like that, like they test your mental fortitude in the middle. They test a lot. They test your pride. Everyone who plays in the middle fucking got a lot of pride. When it happens a couple of times, you're like, this ain't happening again.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? Like you got guys like Curtis Moran coming off the back fence. He's fucking, outstanding. So going against Royce Hunt.
I reckon Lukey Stowe's bigger than Curtis Moran.
Lukey Stowe would flog Curtis Moran. Curtis Moran, I love Moz.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to, who was we speaking about? Josh Curran, and he said, I said, how's the big fella? I've seen the big fella around training, and he reckons that there was like when you went down and did a training session, it was just you and Curtis Moran, and you just had him all locked in. You had him all fired up.
I love him.
Yeah. All right, mate, that's heaps on that game, obviously, because
right,
Nico is obviously a huge story right now, and I think we touched on that. So game 2, we had the Warriors 32 defeating the Broncos 16, and the Wards are back. Are they back?
Are they
because
back?
The Warriors started fast again, but this time they get the job done on Old Boys Day. Shout out to the OGs who were there at the game, including my old man, who fucking absolutely loves those weekends. He flew back.
That's great.
Got to spend a lot of time around some past teammates, Uncle Sidiru, and a few of the boys. And
Dwayne Man.
Big Wah. Big Dwayne. And the OG kits from 95.
Yeah, good.
What a concept by the Warriors. Shout out to Jacko, the team, everyone in the media team there, because those jerseys were sick, and what a great day to celebrate it. And the Warriors, they played to... I know Broncos were missing all their...
I don't care. It's the way they played.
Yeah.
Like, I was very hard on them last week because you just can't get beat by 60 and just think that things are normal, right? You need to get hammered for that. And obviously they've done everything in the week to try and get up for this game and get back to where they are, where they were. Is it SJ didn't play, right? And I'm like, is he holding them back? Is he not fit? You know what I mean? Because they just look like a totally different team with him out.
I got some, I'll throw something at you. I think chemistry is so underrated now in the halves, right?
Mate, yeah.
So for whatever reason, Shawnee and Tomato haven't worked together as a combination, but Shawnee looked great when he had Luke Metcalf.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between the two? Both of them probably require the ball to be on ball and controlling the game. When they play together, they're probably suited to. You could have argued when Tomato first started playing, he was more of a 6. I think he's developed into a 7 now, and he's going to be the long-term answer when Shawnee leaves. With Metcalf, he just wants to run.
Forgot about Metcalf.
Yeah, so Shawnee just had a running 6 on the left, so he controlled everything. Metcalf would come up with a couple of plays per game, and it might be a chip and chase, it might be broken play, one off the ruck.
It's just him having a crack, bud.
Support play. Yeah. Whereas that's what Chanel is doing with Tomato. So when Shawnee misses, he's got his Metcalf in Chanel. Chanel was defending really strong.
Great defender.
Really good defender.
Fuck, he bangs.
And he doesn't require the ball. He's just getting up. He's chasing kicks. Tomato's basically running the show. So with Shawnee and Tomato Martin together, they're just not working. They probably require the ball too much. That's my biggest thing.
I agree. I totally agree. I totally forgot about Metcalf and what his role was last year.
Yeah.
He was a runner.
Yeah.
He wasn't a ball player. He was just like, he'd just run. He'd do a couple little block plays here and there, but he was main thing was support play, take him on when he could, and Sean Johnson would just control everything else. And that was way better for SJ.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. He doesn't work with those other two.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
I think he probably could have worked with Chanel a little bit better.
Not Tamari.
But we haven't seen it. And Tomato, he deserved to be starting 6 off the back of his performances while Sean was missing. So I'm thinking that could be a part of this. Obviously, Shawnee's injuries haven't helped. He clearly was banged up. He was carrying some injuries. All reports are that he was missing a lot of training sessions this year. We say this all the time. I say this all the time. Father Time's undefeated.
Yeah.
And injuries, those little niggling injuries, when you're winning games, sweet, you wear them with a badge of honour. When you're losing games or you're losing contests and you're losing games, you feel them harder than you've ever felt them before when you're in your 30s.
And missing training sessions right now is very important, and it sucks because they put so much onus on your training sessions, right? You need to be at a level where they think that you're ready for the game. It's no more like he's wrapped in cotton wool all week, and then we just put him out for the captain's run, and then he plays. That doesn't happen anymore.
Especially if you're losing.
It doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter who you are. You know, you've got to get out there, like they call it D3, D4. That's like day 3 and 4 out from the game.
Yep.
They're very important sessions.
Huge
D2, that's very important, right? So they're day 2 before the game.
When does it get more important, you think? What's the one?
Closer to the game. When it's that session before the day off, and then another day, and then game day. I think that's D3. I think.
Yep.
That's the most important session.
Yeah,
because that's when they're left on right, and it's nearly full contact.
I reckon the OGs at Manly in particular would miss a lot of the D2s recovery, maybe miss a D2, but be humming day 3 and.
They're the main ones. They're the main ones.
Yeah.
They're the main ones you got to nail. Don't care about during the start of the week. You just got to get through. There's a couple of sessions there that, like, especially the coach there coming from Penrith, he'd copy that sort of structure. Because it works, right?
Hey, I've got one for you straight off the bat. Again, spoke to Josh Curran on Saturday morning. I asked him what's the difference between Cam Serrato and Andrew Webster. He's the perfect guy to ask.
Yeah.
Penrith system, Penrith Junior, and he knows about it. He said very little.
Yeah.
Same principles, same, like he goes detail on defensive structures. He goes, that's what made it so easy to come to the Bulldogs, because I didn't really have to change my structures and the communication that's involved with it. So it shows they've got very similar, coming obviously from the same system, and it made it a little bit easier for Josh Curran's transition to the Dogs.
And Webby would have been a bit more of an attacking sort of brain as well, where Ciro was all defense. All defense. And that's why he's got Jason Taylor, he's got a few other guys there doing the attack and doing the defense as well. So, but he mainly runs the whole show there. Curran's been going good. He's a good, and he'd give the best example of that, wouldn't he?
He's the only player.
He's the only player that can really have a say on it.
Warriors and Bulldogs.
But I look at the Warriors team, and I'm like, the main thing is Fanua Blake. Again, come out of the blocks. I mean, he probably arguably played his worst game last week. Stat-wise and energy-wise and everything. I'm not even going to look at his stats, right? Because I thought he was that dominant with the ball. Like he nearly scored a couple of tries like 12 metres out, and they just couldn't stop him. His energy was on. I think they all got a bit of a roasting. I don't even think that. They probably wouldn't even have got anything because they know they're way better. Playing against a Brisbane team, I was like, okay, well, they got a few players out. You've got your main guys like Carrigan and Payne Haas and a few other guys. But
is Kevy going to regret that?
Well, they're coming ninth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
you've got to make the top four.
That's what I thought. I thought like if they don't make the top four, like they're going to struggle to win. You're going to rely on
history says they can't.
You're going to rely on Reynolds to come back, and it's all going to be fucking gravy. Like everybody's going to be playing hard as hell straight after Origin.
You can make the.
And what sort of Reynolds is coming back? He just tore his bicep off the bone.
Yeah, I think he's like round 24, 25.
Yeah. So Willison was good, the big boy.
Love him.
That try that he scored there, right? When he caught the ball, and I think he went at who'd he run over? It's
wasn't Freddie Lussick, was it? Or
no. I forget. I think it was Egan. It was Egan, right? But he caught the ball, and I always tell these young kids, they'll try and like look at you, but like I'm really going to go at this guy. So he went bang, and late footwork with the ball, bang, one-on-one, right? And then he just was too strong. Yeah. If he had a ran straight at this guy, then he comes in. So he caught the ball here, and as soon as he hit it, like he's facing him in, and then bang. He caught him slipping a little bit. He's just in that little bit of a crease, and he wasn't come up, and he was sitting in his chair.
Fuck, was it Jazz Devanga?
It was one of those guys that weren't a big body. I think it might have been Egan. I think it was Egan.
Yeah.
So Egan wasn't really expecting the big guy to move that quick, and then just boom, 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 try. That was impressive.
You always talk about like you got some indicators, right? And I'd like to think that maybe the teaching and they've got that footy IQ for the most part, mate. I reckon they're just natural. Yeah, it just happens for these.
It does it's a bit smart, but like because there was two blokes standing right there opposite him.
Yeah,
but that guy was there.
Late movement.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a late movement.
Yep.
And this guy didn't even touch him because he's a big, fast unit, mate. He's impressive. Little things like that. I know they're on the back foot the whole game, but he nearly got him back into the game.
Yeah, for sure. I want to give a massive shout out to Corey Jensen. He's a lot better than I ever thought he was. He had 185 metres and 50 tackles too, mate.
He was outstanding.
He is well and truly filled that. Mate, they are the most dangerous team. That's why I was critical of like Kevy. They're currently now sitting in ninth. Someone threw out a tinfoil hat on the Broncos saying that the Penrith Panthers lost on purpose, so Cowboys jump into the 8 and pushes the Broncos out of the 8. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. But yeah, just Corey Jensen's going to be Payne Haas's partner for the rest of the year. Xavier Willison's going to give them some real X factor coming off the bench in big games.
Piakura's good.
Piakura's good. I thought Selwyn Cobbo tried to single-handedly bring him back into the game after a real quiet first half. I was like, man, I can see now why Billy didn't play him in the first half. He's clearly carrying something as well, or confidence might be down. Whatever was said at halftime, he came out completely different player in the second half and was way more aggressive and went after the game a lot more as well.
Do you see a world where Piakura plays left side back row in Origin 3?
I think Jaden Sewell was excellent yesterday. Jaden Sewell's been excellent.
He's a left side back row.
Yeah, he is. Jaden Sewell doesn't deserve to lose his spot. No, as good as Piakura's been.
Jaden, bench him?
Well, I'd rather Fafita.
Yeah, but you had the bench. You had Kafusi and Capewell.
Yep.
I've got Piakura. He can play centre as well. I've seen him play centre. I can put him anywhere in the middle and both edges and centre. He's a way better option.
Okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Yeah,
that's the guy. That's what I'll be looking at. And he hits hard. He can play anywhere. He's got a lot more football than Capewell. Capewell, no disrespect to him, but like he's getting up there in age. He's done the job for him. But that was 3 years ago when he did the job.
Yeah,
in the centres. That's what they were saying. He's done a job for us before. I was like 3 years ago. It's a long time.
Capes didn't play last year, did he?
No, the year before, the 2021, or 2021, where he did a job and he played centres.
Yep,
and he played really well. But that was.
I thought that was the year they got dusted. I thought didn't Tommy give him a bath that year? He was playing left centre, and then they brought in. Yeah, they did because that's when they changed to Hammer in the centres.
But he played okay, didn't he?
He played okay.
Yeah,
but yeah. He's done, and look, he's probably won 3. He's been a part of the except for last year.
He's been a big part of it.
Yeah, he would have won 3 series as a swingman, bench player, or back row.
I see. It's like if you're going to look at a guy like Piakura who can play most of those positions that Capewell can, and he's 22.
I would go. Nah. All right. This is my bench. Capewell gone. Fafita straight swap, and I'm keeping Felice. Suncorp, physicality. I know Felice didn't get a shitload of minutes, but I want an OG like that in a big game like this.
You got to think, if he plays 8 minutes, what's the fucking point,
Well, yeah, the part of that is figuring out a plan for him to play more, and he's probably going to play more.
I just think off the bench, either start Felice or I'm like, I don't think he's a bench player.
Okay, got you.
You know what I mean? Because he sets the standard.
How we going to start talking about Origin again from Warriors?
Always does.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. Keep going.
I just think Piakura is like he's proven himself the last couple of years and he's uninjured at the moment. And he's just, I don't know. He'd be if you're looking at a Capewell instead of a Cobbo and an outside back, he's your guy. He's just been sitting there.
Well, you're not going to get Cobbo on the bench because he's going to be in the back line.
Yeah, I know. But like, if you're thinking along those lines.
I've got to shout for you a little bit later on. I think you're going to like this one. Mate. We could be able to keep Cobbo on the bench. All right. No, is that it on that? Pretty much. Yeah. Origin. Kevy regrets. Yeah. Chanel. Oh, when he dropped Fletcher Baker was outstanding. All right, let's get to the game of the round and probably the Eels, mate. They've had some really good games this year and they've just fallen short. They've got to find a way. The Knights 34 defeat the Eels 26. It had everything. One of the games of the year. It's one of those games you felt bad who lost the game. Probably not UOG because you hate Parramatta. But for me not as a neutral, but I watch all games as a neutral now despite playing for Parramatta. I was like, neither team deserved to lose this. Bradman Bess, we talked about him as our dog of the week. On Fox League, he had the 3rd most metres ever at 336. On the NRL side, he had 357, which I use every week. Which one is accurate? And why haven't they figured out a way to fucking get that right? How can they not
make it accurate when it's a record? Like it actually means something.
Yeah.
Get it right. Who do you go off?
I have no idea. I'm super confused.
Who do you go off? Fox League?
I use NRL stats every week, but
I don't think so. The ones that the players actually get in the NRL is a lot more accurate. So whatever he's got, like his stats when you're reading those things, they're the ones that you go off. They're the exact meters.
Pardon me. So, pardon me. 336, because you remember Gutho and Joey Manu just had both run 360.
They took him off him.
Fox don't have him in their league stats. They don't have them in the top 5.
You're talking about $1 billion fucking conglomerate here. You know what I mean? Get your stats right. What about the super coaches? What do they learn? What do they get from? They should have it.
Oh, because money's on the line, right?
There's a lot of money on the line for all these stats.
Say that again, mate.
Fox League is super coach.
Okay, so Fox League's probably the more accurate then, if that's a super coach, because there is money on the line for that.
We'll go Fox League then.
Yeah. So we've been pumping up the meters too much for the boys because we're looking after the boys.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm still going to continue using
Don't worry about it. Because he had 380 metres in my book.
Greg Marzu, off the back of the Bradman best form, he's starting to warm up to his 2023 form. I thought he was really good.
He just gets his shit together in defence. And I think he has a little bit. He makes better calls, makes better reads. He's a beast, mate. He doesn't even look like when he's like near the line and like he's just like a couple of those tries where could be another another winger where you can actually think you got a chance. It's like he just doesn't move from. It's like Sevo, right? Sevo was just going, nearly scored a couple of brilliant tries there.
Yeah.
Some blokes are just so strong in the hips and just bang. Like once they're in there, the ball stuck to their fucking. And it looked like he could have punched the ball out, Gutho, and it still just moved a little bit.
Yeah.
He's that strong.
Did you see Gutho complaining at halftime about not being able to get to? So he got sort of checked by the referee.
Yeah, he's everything.
He was deep down.
He's the best.
He was deep down going. I'm glad you checked me.
I didn't want to get to it. It would have been full frontal.
Because it would have been. He might have stopped it, but fuck, I don't know if you want to get in front of that at the moment.
Nah.
And you know what he's getting back to? His yardage carries are where they were last year.
Yeah. He got that one ball coming out of yardage. Terrible, average ball from Phoenix, but he still should have caught it
for sure.
And then he got hit by the big Reg, hit him straight in the mouth.
So good. And Reggie
and usually, but I know because Reggie's 6'6", right? And Marju's probably Rennie's height.
Yeah.
5'10". But Marju reckons he's 6 foot, but he's 5'10". So he would have love you, Ren. So he would have been going, all right, I dropped the ball, fine. Why you put your shoulder through my fucking head?
Well, Reggie just was following through on the tackle, and I think Marzu was filthy.
He's filthy that he dropped the ball, then he caught one in the lip.
Yeah, and
it rattled him a bit.
Reg was like, "What am I supposed to do? Pull out at the last minute?"
And if Reg actually meant it, he would have fucking ragged him.
Well, if you're not committed to 120 kilos, Rennie Matua, 5'10", then what is you've got to. It's very hard to pull out at the last minute. I'm on Reggie's
I did that to Ren one time, and I just didn't know he was that short. I said, Ren, I thought you were 6 foot. Why would I dip that low? You lied again. Anyway, let's get on to that little. What a great moment, right?
Yeah.
The Price family. Leon Price. I played against that man. He's a great human, one of the great players over there. I think he would have dominated over here as well. To have him there, the Beaver was there.
Yeah, Beaver's in the
That's the Catalans connection. I can't believe we didn't get him invited.
Yeah,
Catalan greats. You know what I mean? We should have
Manly
been there.
greats.
Manly, Newcastle great. Team of the decade.
Yeah.
Team of the decade, whatever. Played 3 years, got team of the decade. And Price scoring that try. I love that try. I'll tell you the lead up to that try. It's one of if people can execute that, if players can execute that and middles know what they're doing. It was coming off a far left post numbers line, right? Yep. It was just the 9 coming out, little dummy, and then a block play. And then Adam Elliott coming out the back.
Yep.
The reason why that was a try, right? So when we say 3-man C defender, he got to the C defender, didn't he? He got to Junior Paulo and squared him up. Guess who's the left for? It's fucking Lane, wasn't it?
Laney.
So Lane had to turn. Lane slipped, Lane was caught slipping.
Yeah.
And fucking Saifidi hits that outside in line. Lane had to come in. The ball playing is, just say, if he didn't come in, he goes out the back. There's 5 on 3. If you execute that at a high level all the time, it's nearly a try time all the time.
Agree.
Try time all the time. It's about Elliott getting out, because Elliott was coming off a block play, so he goes that way. But the beautiful thing that he did, he squared his hips up real late so he could go like that. So Lane had to come in. Junior Paulo had to come into him, right? So if he went out the back to just say Hastings or something like that, they would have skinned him either way.
Yeah.
And then Saifidi hits the ball, boom, and then boom.
Good support
It was
play.
fucking great try. If you execute that right, the middles are all on the same page, and if you're communicating, I'm going to get to Junior. Junior was the C defender, because you got to get that 4-man turning in a little bit. Did it all. It was beautiful. And then the backing up at pace. Loved it. It was one of the best tries. One of the best tries.
I totally agree with what you're saying, and I think I'm going to add a few things to it. In this day and age, there's they're always trying to strip numbers around the edges with plays. The edges The edges are getting better at defending, but if you can have genuine lines through the middle with, as you know, Mace, being in the middle, there's defensive structures out on the edge, but for the most part, middle, it's all effort and about tying in and making sure that you're just working your ass off. So for the most part, there's zero thinking going on through the middles. No. It's just about looking up, where's your space, close to space, and get up and try to put enough pressure on to help out the edges. Yep. If you can get good at your shape in and outside the four-man, which is the back row, in this case, it was Sean Lane and Junior Barlaw, that's where you get guys that aren't thinking about their role, and it's more, I've just got to get up, got to be present, got to be filling the gap. So if you can create some shape around there, as you say, sometimes you see the easiest tries are through the middle. Yeah,
if you play football and you actually got a ball player, know what they're doing, and a ball runner. Yeah, like it's not through the middle of it's not at A and B. No, it's at like the C and four man. Yeah, right. And people at home, I just say there, you got an A defender, a B defender, a C defender, and a marker. There's your four middlemen. Yep. And then the other edge is like when it starts from Lane, Brown, and then so on, like your winger and then your centre.
Russell and Sivo.
So if you can get it, the C defender, which was Paulo, and then Sean Lane, you got a lot of joy there. If you can get Sean Lane interested and you can get Paulo turning in, and the only reason why he turned in is because Elliott squared up. He was going across field and then he squared back up, so then he had to come towards him, right? So I thought it was a great try.
Yeah, really good.
And the thing is, so just and on the other side of that, Moses skinned Gags twice, right? Twice. Because they call it checking and releasing. So Gags is checking on the lead because he wanted to protect Price a lot. And I think Price is a good defender. I don't think he had enough faith in him. But he can't come in too much. And that's why, like with a guy like Moses, he just can't. You see that time, people at home, like he come in, he's facing that way to look at the lead. He knows Moses is getting the ball, but he thought he was quick enough to get Moses, and Moses just skinned him twice. And Gags is a way better defender than that. But I know what he was thinking, protect his inside shoulder, because those guys, if you run that lead line, it's a hard one to stop. You know what I mean? And those good ball players, if he goes like that towards Moses, he's going to hit the front goal. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, man. It's hard to check and release. That's why the great gun defenders like Hammer and all that, they got that fucking meter of pace where like if he can check and then he can get a guy like Moses.
Yeah, I agree. Gags could have got that a couple of years ago. Gags. I'm not saying he's losing pace, but like the timing of it. He is.
I just love Gags.
Yeah, you love Gags. Okay, I'll say.
But like, and he's a gun defender, right? But he might be just that meter of like bang bang when he can get out. A couple of years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. Now he's got to really time it properly and rely on your middle. Price, you got to make
faith on Price.
Right, you make your tackles, and he made all his tackles. There wasn't like he was getting spotted up.
Yeah, you're right. He did a good enough
contact. He was bang. He was wrestling. He was finishing them off. Yeah. So I'm like, that's all you want from your six.
The first contact, that's what I seen.
Yeah, I saw it. Straight in his back.
Bang
straight,
on his back.
Real tight, underhooks, boom. I like that.
The knock on him in Super League and why they were hesitant to play him was because defensively he still got a lot of work to do.
Very raw.
Hey, mate, you got an X factor like that? We talked about chemistry and styles. He suits Jackson Hastings to a T.
Yeah.
Cogger and Jackson Hastings, Jackson Hastings and Gamble, I like that a little bit better. Jackson Hastings and Will Price, I like that a lot better because he doesn't need to control the game. He comes in and he might not do anything for 20 minutes, but can come up with that try or come up with a moment or a flick pass underneath his not looking and hitting Anari Tuala on the chest off that loose ball.
And there was no need for him to be supporting Saifidi on the inside there.
Nah.
That was just an instinct.
An effort play.
It's an instinct play.
Instinct effort.
And you go, he could have been the guy out the back. Nah, fuck, plays on here.
Yeah.
Can't coach that shit.
Too many halves, worry about next play and not worry about what's present. Most halves
would have sat back going, fucking double drop, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I love it.
Love it.
Also, I love the post-match. Did you see? Have you seen his post-match?
I saw that live. I actually saw it live. I was like, I just fucking love this guy. I'm like, yes, you swear it. Get on level, son. You fit right at home.
So yeah, we'll get Will on. I've texted him a few times since his move over, and he seems like a champion.
Proper northerner, isn't he?
I love the emotion. I love the accountability of apologising straight after the energy. Look, he's just made his debut. He's the energy when Bradman Best was running away on those two tries, it gave me goosebumps. I was watching the game. I was going,
nothing better than playing there, bro, on a Sunday.
McDonald's Jones Stadium. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday afternoon. Yeah. I was watching it. When Bradman went up, I was like, fuck, that's cool as shit. Like the whole crowd's pumped up. They're going to win the game. Then they get a fucking awful call. By the way, Goff, awful for both teams.
That was a terrible game.
He's awful.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a number of games now where it's Parrot, and like Gutho was complaining to him about a couple of things, but
what's his name?
Peter Goff, the referee. Sean Lane caught it a metre before the line to get Parramatta back in the game.
How do you know the refs' names? I only know that G dude.
Well, you know what?
And the Baldy. What's his name?
Klein.
Kleiny.
Yeah. The Baldy. That's mad.
Calvin Klein.
You fucking Ashley
Klein, I forget.
Yeah, but he saved you back in the day with the building it. You got to remember his name.
Baldy.
Fucking hit him with the
hair. He had hair back then, man.
Yeah, you receded him with all the decisions and him looking after you.
I remember, what about the talk between the refs and just say a guy like Klein going, fuck, he goes, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, because he's old school too. Refed over in England before he refed over here. Yeah. Refed international games, like some wild shit he had to go through. Now he's penalising people for fucking the most minute things.
He's not the top referee. He hasn't been for a while.
And what has Andrew?
Like
what has G Banger done?
Don't know.
Because he was the best ref in the game last year, best ref in the game, best game, blah 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 blah. Now he's doing fucking Super Saturday at 2:00. Super Sunday yesterday at 2:00. Did the lowest game.
Did he? Did he do? Which game did he do?
Whatever. It was terrible.
Penrith game.
Sunday
did he do
game.
Penrith?
Sunday ticket was fucked. Took me ages to watch. Oh.
Fuck, some people copping strays out of it.
Shit. I was just like, God damn, I watched a lot of footy.
Yeah, Sunday was a rough day.
Because I'm only used to two on a Sunday.
Let's quickly get back to the referees.
Yeah,
I want to get on it. Right? Goff's awful, in my opinion, for both teams. And Parramatta fans were blowing up about the bunker the bunker decisions I thought were correct. Blaze Talangi loses, plants the ball before the line and then slides it over.
Yeah,
for
I
me,
that was a try.
No, I'm no try. Well, this is why it's a hard job for him. And the Mike Acevo one, I think it went upstairs as no try. I think you have to support that decision because I don't think it was clear cut.
It wasn't. No, I agree.
I can understand that people going, he probably got there.
One bit of grass would have gone it, which is a try, right?
Yeah, but I thought there was enough doubt. But Sean Lane catches it a metre from the 10-metre line before it didn't cross or anything. And I'm watching Goff in the background and he's like lining up on the line. How he didn't get there. Anyway, how did we start talking about that? Because the referees...
Decisions.
I threw this up. Remember I threw up doing a referee's review for myself? And I
do your head in, mate.
It would because I reckon there are so many different interpretations where like already just straight on the bunker decision on the Blaze Talangi one we disagree.
I 100% thought if you put it on the ground just say a centimetre and you roll it, it's still staying with your fingers haven't left.
Yeah,
right?
He didn't. I agree that it didn't leave.
Yeah, and it's just
do you think that's not losing control? So just say
he's lost control.
So just say I'll throw an example for you. If he is on the ground, right, not trying to score a try. And whilst trying to play the ball, his arm rolls like that and the ball rolls underneath it, but then he comes back and grabs it and plays the ball. Would you give it a knock on?
Yeah, I think it's a whole different circumstance there, right? Different scenario.
What the knock-on's a knock-on. If he's losing the ball, he's losing the ball, right?
Yeah, but like he's not dragging it forward and then dragging it back. So before it, he hits the ground and then then it rolls over. It doesn't miss his palm. It doesn't come off at all.
Never released.
It never released. It's just like he's just rolling a ball across. Like that's what I was thinking. I was just like, I get it if he's like lost control a little bit, the fingers come off, and I was like, no, he's just put the ball down and it just rolled over. Yep. I'm like, he hasn't lost control. It's all about fingertips coming off and all that kind of stuff. He's planted the ball down. It's just like he just rolled it through.
Can we? Lukey's fucking pumped up here. He's got some. Yeah, go on. Have you read my notes? Yeah, so Lukey just asked the question. This is perfect, and he hasn't even read my notes because I thought this is going to be my next thing with him. I'm watching Parramatta and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Parramatta. Lukey just asked me a question. Is the Clint Gutherson and Mitch Moses hammering the referees like Gutho's done now for a couple of weeks? And don't get me wrong, I can understand the frustrations. Is that having an effect on the referees? And therefore, subconsciously, do they go into games going, fuck these two to a torture? Like, and then if there is a 50-50, because me and you are still, I don't think I'm still saying no tries on Talangi. You're saying a try. So I can understand there being grey area in that decision. But at the end of the game, I was sitting down and I was going, what's wrong with Parramatta? arguably a top 5 front row rotation in Junior Bowler and Regan Campbell-Gillard. Give me them out of the top 5. Dill Brown and Mitch Moses. Give me them over
top 3.
3, maybe top 3 in the league. Yeah. I love the back rows. I like Sean Lane. I love Brycey Cartwright. Fucking Jermaine Hopgood, before he got injured, was a really good player. Probably lacking a little bit on the bench and hooker, but you can't be fucking stacked at every position.
Madison, you got Paulo coming off the bench.
Penasini on the wing, Gutho at fullback. Like, they've got so much that's working for them. And you know what I think it is? Exactly what Lukey's talking about. I think there is definitely, if cause 50-50 are going to go against Mitch and Gutho because of it, but also I think as their leaders, it sets a bad precedent for the rest of the team.
Are they that bad?
They are, mate.
Okay.
They are. They're really bad. And a lot of the times, this is where they get vindicated. They're probably the best at challenging captain's calls. They come in.
Do you think that the refs sat down when they got them the other week and going, fuck, they got us?
Oh, well, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Surely they can't have that animosity and just like.
I don't know how you.
Are they that petty?
I don't know. Like, they've got to be professional. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you don't go into a game with
subconsciously just going to fuck Parramatta.
Well, I've always said it's a strategy to make sure that, like, you know, during my career, if I got a chance to butter them up, and I know I played with you.
I know it's not what you say; it's how you say it too. Because they come at you. They come at you like little spider monkeys, right?
Yeah, they attack. They attack
like Bali monkeys.
Goff, what are you doing? Fucking, you know,
they're like being in Bali, and those monkeys just attack you.
Yeah,
that's fucking. That's
you got
Moses.
my fucking iPhone. How do you get my iPhone?
What you fucking do? He just said, check this, check that,
Bubby's
check
got
that.
your purse.
Fucking review. And they're like, hey, okay, I get it. Might be like that. I mean, when you're losing, man, it's you're just trying to fight for every little battle. And I get what Gutho and Mitch are doing, but like, surely that can't be swaying the decisions. But it might be a little bit subconsciously. He's like, fuck, shut up.
For sure. But I get away from that part of the refereeing. But what I think it does is for the playing group, when your 2 senior players and 2 most influential players are continually complaining, it's like, it's allowing excuses. It's allowing, like, you know, they might not say to the group after about, oh, we got fucked by this call. But if your playing group continually sees, oh, we're getting hard done by, they're getting the wrong calls wrong, they've got to find a way to get rid of all, like, they've got to have a mindset of, we have to beat the Newcastle Knights and we have to beat Goff. And you know what I mean by that? Like, going into a game going, we're not going to win by 2 points. We've got to be super squeaky clean. We've got to just fucking bite down on the mouth guard. I always go back to last year, and results haven't been as good this year, but Andrew Webster did a great job of changing the culture at the Warriors. For a long time, due to the fans and the commentary around the Warriors, and you still see it from the fan base, because whenever they go through a losing streak, they're always like, oh, we get done by the referees. And that used to filter down to the players. Very rarely do you see players complaining these days about the refereeing. And I think it's Webster, because you've got to take accountability for what you're doing. The refereeing is so bad across the board right now. I think that would be my message to my playing group. If I'm playing, like, if I'm speaking to you, Mason, you're the captain, I'm going, Mace, the fucking refereeing is awful right now. You got to be the best representation of our club, of our team. So that player fucking
We just got to take it out of the ref's hands.
Squad member 29 doesn't look at you complaining to the referee all the time, Mason, and go,
That's all he does.
The only reason we lost is because we got done by the referee. I think even more so now, the refereeing is so bad that those two have to check themselves and go, we're setting a bad example when we're getting too frustrated and we're forgetting about what the actual...
What's that? That's what happens when you're losing.
Yeah, it does.
It's a product of the losing mentality over there at the moment, and you're just trying to get everything, every little call, and it just doesn't look good. You know, you just got to go out there and go, you know what? Fuck yes, we're going to beat you by 20. We're going to put in the ref's hands. Yeah. Fuck your decisions. Fuck everything. You know, like you just got to win games. And you got to take
a few licks in that time too.
Yeah,
like, you'll lose a couple of close ones, but eventually you'll stop allowing excuses to be used by players in the playing group, and you'll figure out a way to get the job.
Poor Baz when I think Brammer Best picked his second one up, or second, or maybe his first one, his first one, because they had a crack to get back into even or something like that. So, oh no. Poor Baz.
I feel
poor
Baz. Yeah.
He's too good looking to play, coach.
Yeah, is that
go into modelling or something.
You can't be a glamour and be a head coach.
Be like a 9.5 out of 10 and then just coach. Have a look at Robbo on that. Look at Andrew Webster. Look at Robbo. Come on, man.
Strawberry blonde and ginger.
Yeah. It's Ciro. You know who Ciro looks like? The fucking Transformers. The guy off Duval or whatever his name is. You seen Transformers?
He does.
That's who he is.
But he's a pretty good looking cat.
He's a good looking cat, yeah. So every time I'm watching Transformers, I'm always like, I'll record it and then go send it to fucking Ciro. Fuck, you look good on this movie, mate.
Ciro's like a poor man's version of Duval.
He's exactly like him, mate.
Gus is in a glamour.
Gus is a glamour. He was a former glamour. Gus was a former glamour. Gus Gould.
Was he?
Come on, mate. Wayne Bennett.
Bellamy.
Craig Mellor. Belly was all right back in the day.
Nah.
He was all right, 89.
You know what my favourite clip was? They always show it on fucking Fox. Matty John Fletcher always shows it when he pops his shoulder out trying to score that try.
Who, Belly?
Belly. Yeah. For the Canberra Raiders, and he looks like the hunchback of Notre Dame. But yeah, I'd say the exception to that rule is Ivan. Ivan's a glamour.
Ivan's all right.
Yeah, Ivan's a good looking cat. But yeah, Baz, way too good looking.
Baz is too good looking. Yeah. They're all 7s. Baz is a 9.
7's at best.
7's at best. Dressed up Dally M 7s.
7's
They're
at
Dally M 7s. They're Dally M 7s. Baz wakes up at a fucking 8.5. 3-day bender.
Hasn't even brushed
3-day bender.
Yet.
He was looking like that in 2005 Kangaroo Tour.
All right, quickly, get back Mitch Moses, right? Mitch Moses before I move on, and Gags. And I love what you said about Gags before, but we got
it's all good.
Best tangent that we've done in a while too, by the way. That was outstanding. If Gags was an option for Origin because of the Coates injury, because you got Cobbo, geez, that didn't look good.
No.
Straight up, because Billy would have been watching that game.
Not at centre.
He would have been watching Bradman Best, potentially Mitch Moses, what they're doing for New South Wales, because you've got to watch both teams, right? You don't just watch your own team.
And as I said before, I think he was too worried about his inside compared to his man.
100%.
And I don't think in Origin he thinks that, because you're playing with the best players, and he wouldn't be worried about that lead. He'd check a lead just in case. He'd know like if he's going to hit him, because he was digging in so far to the line because there was no inside pressure. You barely get that chance in Origin where you can dig that far into the line and get your two-man turning in that much.
Yep.
So that's a product of that. In Origin, you never dig in that far, so he'd be checking and releasing straight onto whoever that centre is, or whoever, just say if you're in that position, you're usually going to go fullback or centre, but like in that,
still rough
Moses
look.
is doing that.
It's still a rough look for the game winner.
It's still a terrible look, and Moses ain't
18th man. He was too. Moses is quick.
He's quick, but I mean, like, is anyone quick? Fuck, he's probably one of the quickest over 40, isn't he?
Yeah.
In the game.
Yep. And for
some
halves,
people would get on. I think he's the quickest half.
Yeah, easily.
Him and Hastings.
You're on fire.
It'd be Hastings and then just Moses.
You're on fire. All right. Let's move on to the next game, and it was fucking low.
Flanagan, Hastings, and then Moses.
After watching that game and having to fucking sit through this Storm.
Oh my God.
Versus Raiders 6 was a tough carry.
Yeah.
But the Storm, undermanned Storm, they're too good for this young Raiders team with a couple of OGs. It's nowhere near close to their best roster that we've seen from the Storm, but I don't know, man. The more they keep getting the job done in games like this, the more dangerous they get at the back end of the season.
Yeah.
No, do you see the box? Harry Grant, Ryan Pappenhausen, Cameron Munster, Nick Meaney, and even little Jonah Pezzett got fucking in the box.
Little Pez.
I don't like the rookie being up there.
No, he shouldn't be up there.
And I don't like
he shouldn't be up there.
I fucking hate seeing plays in the box first and foremost. That's probably the only box I want to see plays in there, just because of bellyache and how animated he gets. And I know fucking Money G's him up. I've spoke to Money about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players choose the box because it's a little bit more protected. When the other option is sitting down with all the players and getting like tortured by fans, and you're at ground level, you're not really seeing everything. So in the box is a little bit, and you can sit in other boxes, right?
Yeah,
there's other boxes you can sit in. But I think a lot of players choose to be in the box so you can see everything that the coach is doing.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because sitting down at ground level it's not fun.
I'd like to be down ground level.
You can't see anything, but you're really trying to analyse the game and see what's going on, because Belly be looking at, like just say if Money had something to say, he'd really he'd listen to him, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Money, Pap, and Harry are an exception, right? This is like Jonah Pezzett, Nick Meaney, out.
Out.
Like Jonah Pezzett, you might be that guy in the future. Kalen Ponga in Newcastle, stay up there. That's sweet. Fine. I can understand.
Yeah, I think you need to earn your spot to get into a box.
Yeah, and just you're not going to have the impact to like obviously communicate with Belly. I was chatting to Money because I caught up with him, played golf the next day, and he reckons he told me a story.
So it'd be hilarious in those boxes.
So he had to count tackles for Belly. That's it. It's like, so he goes, Munster, you're going to be in here, fucking count the tackles for me. And
really?
He turned around and there was some referee decision, and he goes, Money, what tackle was that? And he goes, I think it was the fourth. And he goes, what do you mean think? He goes, you got one fucking job, Munster.
What do you mean think?
What do you mean think? You got one fucking job, Munster. And then Munster starts laughing, and then apparently all the assistant coaches, because they can't see, because Bellamy's fucking losing his shit, they're all behind, like got a bit of a smoke on their face. And then
it'd be hard to be serious, mate.
And then 10 minutes later, he'll go, sorry, Munster, and like apologising to him because he's just like a fucking, he's so animated.
I reckon that'd be one of the best boxes to sit in.
Best.
He's the one, if everyone goes, what box do you want to sit in? Bellies.
Love to.
But behind him.
The energy, the theatre, but also the footy IQ.
Yeah.
Why
is he blowing up?
What's he looking at the games? It'd be so good. Anyway, what do we got on that? Oh yeah, Storm win the comp. Yeah, I'm with you.
Out, man. I don't know. Like
they've still got holes, don't they?
Give me everybody on deck.
Yep.
And then see what's going on.
Yeah, here's the question.
Get through Origin, get to round 20, hopefully get money back, get all these guys, get them fit. Or even if round 21, 22, you got about 5 games before the big show, then I think they're in with a show.
Full deck of cards: Melbourne Storm, Penrith Panthers, Brisbane Broncos, Roosters.
I'm picking the Roosters.
Yeah, well, see, they've had the wood over the Roosters too. That's
I know, but I just think that would drive the Roosters even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the last couple of years, I think they've been better sides than the Roosters as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think they look like they're rolling. They found the balance.
I feel like the Roosters have been bullying a lot of teams, so I'm trying not to get too overhyped on the Roosters. But I'm the same on the eye test. Roosters to Storm. Despite what I've said all along, I think if I had to pull the trigger when it gets to finals time, I'd go Storm because of the record, and I just feel like styles dictate fights. Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me.
Get a fit Joey Manu back, Connor Watson at lock, and just swap him with that White. Their bench is outstanding.
So good.
Tupanua, I don't know. Like I just think they're going to be very hard to stop, man.
Yeah.
They just look like they've got that balance right because Victor Radley looks outstanding on that edge. He's protecting Sam Walker.
Tons of Carroll.
Yeah, he is. He's that. You can't even get at Sam Walker now because you're going to get lifted by him. And I think he knows his job better at this time of his career now. Like he's not in the middle. He can do quality stuff on the edge.
Yep. That's where I've got heavy favourite. Like, I think you've got to win a competition. You've got to have a powerful bench, and that's why the Roosters scare me. And I think they've got the best bench out of anyone I think
they've got the best 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just say a lot of teams have got a good 14, 15 players, and probably 16, 17. Oh shit, like they're all right.
Yeah.
But they're not outstanding. Where you got probably 21, 22 players in at the Roosters.
I agree.
And Suolii's got to come back.
Well, this guy's important for me. Big Nels goes 20 for 176 in only 33 metres. But he still looks heavy.
33 minutes.
33 minutes? What did I say?
You said metres.
Metres, yeah, sorry. 20 for 176 in only 33 minutes. I think he had about 120 or 130 in his first 10 carries in the first 18 minute stint that he had.
That's what I need from Nelson every week.
Yeah. That's if he can play like that off the bench, because he started in this game.
That's the X factor.
He's the difference.
Yeah. I think so as well. When he's on, that whole pack's on. He could take the whole pack on by himself. He's that big. He's that strong. He's that destructive. His head's been a little bit here and there, all year, been very inconsistent. He started the year off like that. But no one gives a shit when you end up absolutely caving it in the last part of the year and then going on a big run and winning the comp.
Yeah.
Everyone will be like, that's when Nelson got his shit together.
Yeah.
That's when we got our shit together.
Yeah.
Because you got to start carrying this whole pack because you got some guys like Welsh and Kamikamitha, very, very one-dimensional players.
Josh King.
Yeah, they're all bunch. They're hard hitters, man. But they need that bit of an offload, X factors. Welsh got a good offload. So does Nels, but they can really destroy the ruck. Yep. Liero's there. You got Katoa. They've got a good side. They can win
and Bloor have been.
They can win the comp.
Yeah.
They can actually win the comp.
Yeah.
But you need a fit Pappy. You need a fit Money and Harry Grant.
Out of any of them,
back five is dangerous, mate.
Out of any of the spine members to miss, can you afford to have no Pappy with Su'Falongo playing the way he is? What's your read on Su'Falongo? He's still got a little bit to go, eh?
He does. But that when he hit who'd he hit someone with it in and away?
Jordan Rapana. And Raps just sort of went, fuck. They started laughing.
Just laughed, you know what I mean? Like, he got him slipping. He was on skates. But
I reckon Su'Falongo hits a minimum of 20 goosies per game.
Yeah.
Just pops
so
him out.
hard.
He double goosied fucking Rapana inside and out. And like you said,
he just laughed.
Laughing. Yeah.
He's got that. His skill set is high. Yeah, they can...
Pappy's the one, but you need Munster back, don't you?
I need a fit Pappy, right? Pappy's like that far away, but if you can take like 2 or 3 weeks off, get his body right, and then they make the run in. You don't need that. He doesn't need that many games. He's not coming back from I
think he needs the games for confidence, though.
Yeah, I know, but like he probably needs 6 games before the semis. Give me 6 games. That's all he needs. Probably not even that much. So I think, they've got the team to win the comp easily.
Yeah.
What about if Farlong goes quick as hell, right? How quick is fucking Weeks?
KO Weeks.
He didn't even look like getting him, bro.
Just a little bit quicker than Jackson Hastings.
Just. He's another quick half. That's just slower than Hastings.
If he plays 7, he's the fastest 7 in the comp.
Oh, mate, easily.
But at fullback, what about that play? What's his best position? Because they've got to figure something out. In the next couple of years, I'm looking at the way the Raiders are constructed. Jordan Rapana signs 1-year deals. He's an OG. He is the heartbeat of that team. But you can't rely, like, Jordan Rapana looked all of 35 on the weekend in this game. He looked a bit, I don't know whether they moved him to wing was to give him a bit of a break because he's always sort of carrying injuries and he's getting older and he'll have 4 great games. And then he has
elbow on the head too.
Yeah. And then he'll have a game where he's like, he looks old.
Yeah.
I love the youngsters that are coming through, but they have been inconsistent this year. Ethan Strange is starting to see the effects of his first year of footy. He's pretty one-dimensional too. He's got to add a little bit to his game as he progresses.
I thought he played good that game.
Yeah, but he's, you know what I mean.
I'm just saying, I think first year in football, first year in NRL, I thought he's probably nearly going to get Rookie of the Year. Do you reckon he get close?
He'll be thereabouts. Yeah, him and Galvin, I reckon, will be thereabouts. Probably have to look at that a little bit deeper. I forgot his name because he made his debut for him.
He got
the half?
Jacob Miller. No, the big boy?
Adam Cook.
Oh.
I liked him. No, Jordan Martin, are you talking about
Jordan
the mullet?
Martin.
Yeah, the mullet come on with about 20 of the best to go.
Yeah, but he straight off.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Poor bugger.
Adam Cook is the guy I wanted to mention.
Hayden Cook.
He's the one that played, I don't know.
What position was he?
He played half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty solid. Like defensively, he got a lot of traffic with Katoa down that edge.
Yeah.
And I thought he handled himself pretty well. I'm trying to look at his tackles now, 22. Yeah, his stat line didn't, for me, I thought he showed a little bit more than what his stat line says. But yeah, they kept on dropping heaps of pill. Melbourne played the condition so much better. They got the job done in second gear. Here's one for you, and I got this in the comment section. Actually, no, this is on radio. Someone tossed up Xavier Savage for Origin for Queensland. So with the Coates injury at the back end, you could still have – well, it's up in the air. What's happening with Selwyn Cobbo has not been answered yet until we see Game 3. But maybe you still play Cobbo on the bench as your rotation and then you chuck fucking Xavier Savage on the wing. What about that?
He could handle it.
He could, eh?
He could. I reckon he'd be a way better player at that level as well.
Fuck, I'm glad you agree with this because I thought you might have pushed back on it.
No. I've been watching him closely.
Same.
He's fucking strong.
If you're not watching Canberra Raider games, you probably you don't see how good he's been going.
He's strong. He can physically handle it. He can handle the pace and the physicality of Origin already.
X-factor.
He's got that X factor. I'm not sure if you put him on the left wing or left. I don't know. Like I think he's more of a winger fullback, right?
Definitely, yeah.
He can sort of he can play in that position. Yeah, he wouldn't look out of place. Queensland does do freaky shit like this.
Yeah.
And he'd be on their radar.
Yeah.
Just because the Raiders haven't been playing that outstanding, flamboyant sort of football. Whenever they have, he's been the catalyst for it.
I think
he's been there. He's scored some fucking tries this year that are like, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that unless you got freakish talent.
Yeah.
And I think
I've been more impressed by his toughness.
He's tough, mate.
Yeah.
He
his
can
carries. He's one off.
Yeah.
the biggest concern I had from him was when he played fullback a couple of years ago, his contact wasn't that great and his yardage carries weren't that great.
8 kilos lighter.
Yeah.
You know, so he's really bulked up, but he's kept his pace and he's strong. You got to account for that man.
Yeah.
You got to account for that man.
I reckon he's a play to watch.
Yeah, he'd be on their radar.
Selwyn Cobbo's obviously favourite, but if you wanted to play that bench role with Selwyn and still keep the similar lineup,
well, it's happened twice, hasn't it? It's happened twice in these games, right? The outside back has been fucked.
Yep.
So if Selwyn Cobbo was in that 17 and the hammer was done, he slots straight into that.
Yep.
And he looks like a genius again. Oh, well.
It's a good shout.
Watch this space. Watch it.
Xavier Savage, like I said. Here we go. The Dragons 25 defeat the Dolphins 6. Haven't really got to the notes a lot on this game, so we'll just talk them through, Mace. But like I said, it was a pretty low Sunday. Shout out to the Dragons. The Jerry Marshall King injury obviously hurt the Dolphins early in the game.
He's played every game.
He looks like, he's finally got that shoulder right, and off the back of it, the combination.
Syndesmosis, that's fucked.
I thought Jaden Sewell was excellent. I think Raymond Faitala-Mariner is back to his best.
Yep.
He has been a part of, this resurgent for the Dragons, and I wrote this down, like 200 games for Flano. He's got the Dragons in 8th on 20 points. Coach of the Year goes to the most improved team in the competition. Ciro is well-deserved to be the favourite right now.
He should.
Flano's not far behind. What the job that he's done with this Dragons roster?
Depends who makes the top 8. That's what it's going to go down to.
I think there's a world in which they both make the top 8.
Well, finishes higher on the ladder.
Yeah, I think
that's what it's going to be. And more consistent, and just the improvement from last year to this year.
Yep.
We haven't had that bigger roster change, right? I mean, we've got Critter in there. That's probably the only guy you're looking at going, fuck.
Oh, no. Curran, Salmon.
But no one thought they were going to be anything. No one thought any of these guys that we bought were going to make a difference like they have.
Outside of Critter.
Yeah. So
but
he's our only big buy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be it's going to be very nuanced like that. But
you could also, Dragons haven't got anyone of note. Like Raymond's been outstanding coming from your Dogs, but no one expected him to be as good as he is. Christian Tuipulotu.
I just think on that roster, they've just got a really tough, strong side.
Yeah,
I've said
so
from the start. And even last year, they've had that squad.
They were underperforming, weren't they?
They were underperforming. Yeah. Like we're on a totally different scale. But they were impressive yesterday. They were really impressive. Like the Dolphins come to play. They do not quit. They do not quit on any play. And they just grinded and just played fucking high completion rates and just beat the shit out of them. They're very physical, man. Very physical. Who's the fucking the catalyst of that team, right? Who just gets it going. Little. The hooker.
Yeah, he's
dangerous, bro.
He's so much improved.
You have to account for that man. You have to account for him. Your markers are down. He's done. It's not like he just goes. He can go. He connects with other players. Sloan's pushing through. I thought Sloan was outstanding.
Yep.
Moses Sully was outstanding.
Yeah, Moses
was in beast mode.
He's been the best all year.
Who was their left centre? Averillo.
Right centre, Averillo.
Well, who was he on? Right. Whoever he's on, he monstered him.
Yep. Herbie plays left, Averillo plays right, and you're right.
Moses was on one.
Moses has had a fucking cracking year. When they re-signed him at the start of the year before even ball had kicked, I thought that was a great indication that he's had a fucking really good off-season. Because his biggest thing has been weight, controlling the weight.
But I've seen him look like this before.
Yeah.
And then by round now, he'd lose it. It looked like he's had like 2 or 3 kilos. He's fucking gotten fitter.
Yeah.
He's doubled down on it and going, you know what, I'm playing that good. I feel good. I'm dominating the game. I'm getting to where my spots are. I'm not missing anything in defense. I'm hard to put down. I'm a handful wherever I am. Now, this is where I belong. Oh, he's like, and if there wasn't a world where there's such great centers and everything like that, he would not look out of place in a Blues team. It's just that it's going to be hard because you've got so many brilliant centers in New South Wales, but he's playing at that level. He's playing at that level where he would not let anyone down. It took him a while to get to this place. He's only 24.
I remember
he's a young kid, man. He's young. He got thrown into first grade
quick. About him when he hit the scene. So I believe he started fucking DAWGS.
DAWGS, yeah. He was that prodigy fucking $1 million contract when he was younger.
Yeah, and then obviously like a big... Yeah. So DAWGS, Tigers, Manly, Dragons. I think that's been his journey. And I remember speaking to Ches a couple of years ago when he first hit the scene. You remember he had that real big finals game in like 18 or 19 when Baz was coaching him in the centres, and I was like, fuck, why isn't – there was a period where, like, respectfully to these two centres, Morgan Harper and Brad Parker were starting over top of him. I go, man, you got to get Moses into the game. And obviously it's not Ches's decision. Yeah, he's the captain.
Just turned 26.
He goes defensively, he gets found wanting it a little bit as well. And that's, that
was because of his fitness as well, man.
That was reported back from the coaching staff. But that comes back to fitness. Like I said, it was a great sign at the start of the year to sign him at the back of the off-season, because generally he's a player who gets signed after 5 or 6 good games, not in the pre-season where he must have been fucking killing it.
Yeah. And even guys like Luciano Leilua, like he looks probably has to drop probably about 4 or 5 kilos as well before he gets that starting spot, because Raymond and Sewer ain't letting that go.
No.
And he's got too much skill to play front row. He won't play that because his motor is not that good in the middle. So he needs to really apply himself in the next 4 or 5 weeks, drop about 5 or 6 kilos, show me, because he's showed me what he's like when he's fully fit.
Yeah,
he's an animal, but he's making such noise off the bench at the moment. He's fucking hard to handle,
mate. Him and Blake Laurie coming off the bench have a real impact for him. Jack de Bellin
was outstanding.
He looks like he's about to sign a deal. Apparently, he's been linked to the Rabbitohs.
I think he's found his spot where he is a front rower.
Yeah, he is.
Like when they tried to fucking ball play him and all that kind of stuff. No, he's just a hard nosed player.
Nice little tip on wrap around on Frankie Mollo. For the offload for his try as well.
But his first couple of he's not. I don't want him on play 3 or 4. Or 4, especially with the block plays. And you can take play 2 or 3 and just jam it down their throats. Because he's a big boy and he fucking runs hard, tackles hard, absolute beast.
Yeah.
But Dragons they just outworked him. Out-enthused.
How important, a lot of positions are important, but when they lost Jazz, and he's so key because he manipulates a lot of their ruck, he's arguably one of the most important 9s in the game. And Kurt Donahue.
To their team. I agree.
Yep. And I think Kurt Donahue is just not the sort of player. So they lose all their creativity, which makes Isaiah Katoa more comfortable as well, because then once everything gets put on him after that, and then he sort of didn't have his best game as well.
Yep, totally agree.
All right, let's move on to the Cowboys defeating the Panthers 16-6. I will say
at Penrith.
So I feel like the strategy for the Cowboys in this game, and see if you agree with this, right? So the Cowboys can afford to drop 2 games and still make the 8 at the back end of the season with a couple of buys.
Couple of Marcuses.
They have a lot of Origin players off the back of Origin 2 that would have been down on a bit of confidence. We talked about it last year, springboarding them into the back end with, the confidence they got out of it. Jeremiah Nanai made 32 tackles in the first half. Val Holmes defensively was average for Queensland. Tommy Dearden dropped a couple of crucial balls when Mitch Moses got up in his face. So I reckon maybe Todd Payton went, you know what? We're not going to beat Penrith at Penrith anyway. Let's rest all our players, backload our energy for the back end of the season, let this one through to the keeper, play 3 young kids.
See what happens, bro.
Get some, the young players will have a crack. We probably might fall short, but it is what it is. He rests all his players. Guess what? Panthers rest all their players, and they get an unlikely victory.
That's fucking outstanding.
It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cowboys.
This could really go to the Cowboys, right? Like games like this, I don't give a shit if Penrith rested all their players.
Well, they
rested all their players. So it's even.
Isaiah Yeo was the only Origin player to play for
either
the beast. Team. Yeah.
He probably should have had a rest.
Yeah. Cowboys are sitting 7th on 20 points, the same as your Bulldogs, but we keep going back to it, Mace. 2 buys up the sleeve.
Yeah, we've got 1 up our sleeves. We've got the Warriors this week.
Yep.
And then the bye, and then the Cowboys. So they're going to be hard games because it's nearly all must wins from now on for all these teams. Everyone's jostling for these 8th positions. That's what I said. Like from 5th position to 14th, no one's locked in.
Well, the Roosters.
Nobody is locked in.
The Roosters are on 22 points.
Yeah, I know that, but I just think their side is trending up that way.
Okay,
right. I think they'll be able to really force that. Where I'm not confident in the Cowboys system.
Storm, Panthers, Sharks, Roosters. Do any of those 4 teams drop out of the top 4? Sharks on 24.
Yes.
Sharks say.
Can Sharks slip out of the 8?
Fuck it, that'd be nice.
Imagine that. That's what I'm saying. You get your money back. I'm looking after you, mate. I want them to slip out so you get your money back.
I don't think
it can happen.
I don't think
it can happen. You can go on an 8-game losing streak.
It could easily happen, but I don't think it will. Anyway, let's go. What are we talking about? Who are we talking about? The Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, the Cowboys. Yeah. Outstanding. Panthers. Terrible game. Terrible day to play football, but it is what it is. Panthers. I thought the Panthers had ample opportunity to put this to bed. 2
players got sent to the bin during a period in the first half, and Panthers only scored 1 try or couldn't. They didn't.
The Cowboys scored.
Yeah,
Cowboys scored.
When Drinky was in the bench.
Fuiaki was in the bench, wasn't he?
No, Drinky. Because I think Kyle Felt
was outstanding
when he took that pick. He might be slower than Jackson Hastings.
I think Jackson would have caught him. But that was, I said, oh, he looks every bit of 33 right now.
One of the better finishes of all time. Jeez, it must have been a heavy track. When you're watching the horse racing and it's fucking pouting down and
track bias.
Track bias.
We got some track bias here.
Kyle Felt needs fast track.
He needs fast track. He needs dairy farmers.
Yeah. Get back up the country bank.
What about Drinky's ball playing? For a couple of those tries, just those perfect little ball.
Silky.
It's very, very underrated how he does that. He's defensively left to right, boom, straight to Felt, try.
You know how much I love Drinky, and I was pushing for him.
That
for
fucking try that he's let in again.
He would be an Origin player.
I want to see how many tries that him and Sloan are involved in their own 10 metres or 20 metres when they're getting spotted up.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's
because you can't be in that front line, mate.
And you know what? For Drinky in particular,
especially if you're a middle.
Yeah, you'd be
furious. Come on, bro. Because in your head you're just thinking there's a defender there. You got the defender outside. Everyone makes their tackles, right? You don't get beat like that.
The frustrating bit for Todd Payten, Drinky himself is they're down a man. This is when Purdue got sent to the bin, right? So he's trying to fill the gap. And he shoots out a line, put pressure on, but he's not completely following through on his role. His ones are concentrations. And Drinky, again, I keep saying this, because I was pushing for him a couple of years ago, even before Edwards and when Teddy was there. He offers more on attack.
His skill set's high.
His skill set's so high.
He found out in defence.
But he has lapses like that where, like you said, middles start fucking going, do your fucking job correctly.
I'll be able to talk to Todd Payten going, get him out of the fucking front line. Same as Sloan. Let's just defend like how we normally defend. Just let him be in the back.
You've been big on that for a while.
Oh,
you don't like the fullbacks.
I just think some players can, some players can't.
Yeah.
It's only a deception thing. That's all it is, to fuck the attack up.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, well,
it's not him making tackles.
Well, he's trying to ghost, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was trying to pretend.
Trying to ghost. You can't ghost with 11, 12 players.
Schneider called his bluff.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Dummied went himself. You know what I thought was fucking excellent for the...
Fisher Harris?
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Absolute dog. Sorry, buddy. I just knew what you're along the lines of thing. I'm like, he was on.
He was on.
On. Don't even know his stats. Don't care.
Don't care.
Eyeball test would at least be 180 metres.
Well, I'm glad it lived up to... You're 2 metres off.
Yeah,
I'm glad it lived up to the eye test. 66 minutes, 20 carries, 178. He took it upon himself to do the heavy lifting. Because
if they had a one and it was full
dog of the week.
Full deck of cards, he was dog of the week.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a proper dog. He was fucking off the back fence.
Yeah.
Loved it.
They lack creativity with Jack Cole and Brad Schneider together. Those two guys can fill in.
World.
They can fill in when you've got either Nathan Cleary or Jerome Luai there, but when one of the mainstays are missing, then it makes it tough.
Yeah, just when you thought that you hadn't watched enough footy, you got another one. Roosters and Tigers.
This was a little
I liked it.
It was a little bit more entertaining.
Could you see, like, obviously watching the first two games, the energy levels were just like, oh, God, fuck. And then watching the Roosters come out.
Yep. Tigers come out hard too.
Yeah, but when the Roosters got the ball and in defence, I'm like, wow, they're on a whole new level. If they can maintain this, I wasn't surprised that the score was this at the end.
Yeah, it got a little bit... It fluctuated a little bit at the end with the two sin binnings, which we'll get to.
See how angry the Roosters were at the end
when
they scored that try?
Yeah. I love that.
You've got to have it. It's 30 seconds to go.
And you know who was the most...
was Teddy?
Teddy was obviously furious, but I thought Cheese and Cheese...
They were really pissed off.
Yeah, Cheese
what it's like to hold a score to 0.
Yeah, so good.
Shut up.
Nothing better.
Nothing better than that one little lapse.
You would prefer to win 20-0 rather than 40-6.
100%.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just hold them to 0.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Joey Manu, obviously, in this. Little Sammy Walker's on fire at the moment.
Fractured, what are they saying? Fractured.
Did you hear it when it fucking happened in the game?
It was like,
They must have had the
sideline mics,
guys.
yeah.
I was like,
said he's done something here. You don't just fucking fall like that and then just say even like the guy that was tackling him, you could have laid one in.
I think it was Galvin when.
Yeah, he just went.
Galvin?
Yeah, because that's when both are shocked. Like, oh,
Brent Naden. No, Dewey was on that side.
I think it was like not a compound, but it must have been.
It sounded awful.
Yeah.
If that was indeed the sound, I don't know if it was one of those things. I was like, did I just hear that, or was that like maybe someone in the crowd and fucking. We caught some noise, but it didn't look good because he dropped down at the same time. I feel for Joey Manu. I feel like it could have been even more.
That's a 4-6.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, it depends, yeah.
They can get, I mean, beauty is, who's coming back this week, Suoliti?
Is he back this week?
Or maybe this week or next week, so he's definitely back.
They played after Origin. Who they played? Did they have the bye?
I'm not sure.
I feel like he's got one more.
Maybe one more week, but like still, you get a big dog back.
Yeah.
And he's going to be hungry as well. So, yeah, that was devastating for him. But they were outstanding, the Roosters.
Tigers come to play in the first 10-15.
Yeah.
They try to ambush him.
Yep.
The Roosters went,
nah,
is that
fuck
it?
You. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I thought Stefano was good. I thought he was outstanding. He went after it.
Yeah, he did.
He just had no answer for it. Like, I think big Terrell May started the game outstanding.
He's been so good.
Hargraves. Then you got Spencer Leniu and Lindsay Collins coming off the bench. What do you do?
Well, Jared equaled Orbo in this game, and then he'll pass him next game. So that's going to be they just keep getting all these fucking milestones to get up for.
Yeah, and then they're all splitting at the end of the year. This is why I'm going to go. That's why I've been riding the Roosters the whole year. Okay. I'm like, as I said, difference between teams with a lot to play for and everything like that. Yep. Like, they don't trust the process, right?
Yeah.
Where Robbo they know what's up. They know they've got a team here. They know they've got a team that can really make a massive run for it, and they're all in. They are all in. So if they can get all the players on deck, they've all got the same mentality, get through Origin, blah, 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 and then we go for it.
Next year.
100% every single training session, because this is the last time this group's ever going to be together. And that's a brotherhood that they've fucking created there. It's going to go down as one of the best Roosters sides of all time, that whole era.
Yeah.
The whole era, mate.
It's led by Jared.
Yeah. And he's their spiritual leader. Tupou's been involved in that as well.
I think Tupou's re-signed for a year.
Has he?
I think so.
So like, because they lost Kiri's last ride.
Yeah. Or I think it's agreed upon. So no Kez, no Jared, no Manu, no Suoliti, no Angus Crichton.
Angus is asking for half of fucking Vaucluse.
How good.
Get it.
Get that
Go
shit.
get it, son. North Bondi.
Get Clovelly while you're at it as well.
Get it all. He just, mate, can you imagine, we've talked about this before, right? How he started, like, the end of last year, tumultuous, awful. And then this year starts in Reggie's, like, and then look at him now.
One of the best stories.
Best forward in the world.
Craig.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I can't rap. Butcher. Nat Butcher was outstanding.
Yeah, I like Nat Butcher.
He fucking was a dog when he came off the bench.
Yeah.
I think he started maybe. I'm not sure, but he played a shitload of minutes. He just does a lot of cleanup work, man.
I don't know. I don't know the New South Wales Cup lineups, but there's still a couple of players. I know Egan Butcher did his ACL, didn't he?
Egan's done, yeah.
Egan's done. Siwa Wong, was he playing New South Wales Cup?
Yeah.
He's another option that can come back. Connor Watson did really well moving out into the centres when Joey went on.
Connor's a gun.
Connor probably would have got more of a spell. I thought Cheese was excellent. When he got that shot on Stefano.
That was great.
And he gave him the big...
Ooh.
That's the cheese you want to see.
Yeah. Looks like he's having fun, man.
He is.
He got through his shit.
He's locked in, isn't he?
He got through his stuff a couple of weeks ago. Everyone was like, all right, what happened? Fix it all up. Now it's time for footy.
Yeah.
You know, like he's and I'm not sure what's going to happen next year, but all he can do is control how good he plays week in, week out, and he's doing that great.
Yeah.
That's all he can ask for. He's all in.
Do you think the Tigers were hard done by with the carousel, uppy carousel spear tackles sort of thing, and then Dewey?
Fuck, he leaned on his back.
Yeah.
I get it. He went above horizontal, and then you put him down on his back. If he gets driven on his shoulder or something like that, I get it, right? But like you put him in a dangerous position, but you finished him off in a good position. You could have went on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't.
How good was that little exchange? Because just before, I thought like Lindsay Collins, I think he Uppy come in and hit him on the back while he's on the ground. What does fucking Lindsay Collins expect? Like I hate when players get up like they're protected species. Like he comes in, he rips into you. You've got the ball. You're live. You're live. It's good to go. And then I think because he gets up and pushes him because Radley come over to push Uppy.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a level of respect some players have in the game where even Rads went to come over and goes, it's Uppy.
Appy's cool.
Yeah.
Appy's cool.
Appy's respected. Yeah. So he come over and went, and then Lindsay pushes him and then goes, it's Appy.
Sorry, Appy.
And then Bateman goes, I want that smoke.
I want it. Get out.
And then Radley's seen Bateman and goes, yeah,
I love that. That's my jam.
There's my guy.
Yeah, it's like
really
that with some. I like because it is. There's a level of like Appy's like highly regarded as one of the nicest blokes in the game.
Plays the right way.
Plays in the right spirit. He's not a thug. He's not a messy play. He's not dirty. And it was an accident. It's just like,
yeah.
What are you doing? Like I know I fucked up. Sorry, mate. And then Lindsay's like.
Yeah. It was a push, and then it was like
it was a push. Like it wasn't a fucking turn.
Yeah,
it was like,
and then the very next
Appy.
The very next play, or Connor takes one, and then they go to Lindsay. He picks him up, and then Big Lindsay gets up with a smile on his face.
I love that. And then Lindsay took the tap, and then Clemmer was going at it.
Yeah.
I love the big boys going at it.
So good.
It's good because I want that. I'm like, Lindsay, take that fucking hit up next. I know back when we were playing, shit went off like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, we would argue over who would take that tap to get at it.
Well, if you're the guy involved in it, you want it.
Yeah, you want it. But then guys like Ogre and Pricey and Roy and Sonny, everyone go, give me the ball. I'm like, no, it's my this is my jet. I started this shit. I've got to fucking end it.
Got to finish it.
Got to finish it or start the tone, right? It's
You know who they didn't want to finish it? Lindsay Collins. Robbo got him off the very next carry.
Good. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Because I mean you can't risk a high shot or something stupid
Lindsay's
or something like
that.
Lindsay's very important, mate. He was outstanding.
Send out Naful White or something.
Yeah, and that's what he did. Naful White ain't been on. Just go.
Nat Butcher, you can take
young
that
kids.
Yeah.
Come on, take that smoke.
Yeah.
Well, not Spencer.
Yeah.
Spencer straight off.
Oh, yeah, Spencer's the last person you want to put on that point.
Yeah.
He couldn't have.
He's about it.
Yeah. That's car.
But it was a quality game. It was actually.
It was, yeah.
Because I thought Galvin had a crack. I thought they had a red hot crack. If that was against anyone else bar that Roosters.
Yeah, they could have ambushed them.
Yeah, they could have because they were really up for that game. They won 2 or 3 in a row, feeling themselves, and then they just got a real reality check.
The last play on the last tackle, I think Uppy went the wrong way a couple of times, and he's been really good this year. Took full accountability, but. They didn't get to a kick on 2 or 3 occasions, but it was like
fucking that number 16, Seafarth. He's got some shit in him too.
Yeah,
fuck, I would like to play against him. We just got some fucking bad memories against the Tigers.
Yeah,
things like that.
And then obviously but Benji was right. Yeah.
How was the depressor? What did Benji say?
Only a couple of minutes, not much, as you'd expect. Wasn't happy with the calls, but.
Wasn't the calls, mate.
Yeah.
Just a level above.
Levels?
It was just a level. They leveled up and they went up to the Roosters and just went, fuck, we're not there yet. If they had played against Titans or...
Pretty much anyone outside the top four.
Anyone apart from those guys, yeah.
So next week, who they got? The Storm. Yuck.
Ooh, another tough carry.
Yeah. Leichhardt Oval. All right,
mate.
that's review. See you for preview on Thursday, mate.
All right.